qualification that say, I end here and you begin there. I look into the audience and I can see myself in so many of your faces. And I'm sure that I'll be able to see my children in the faces of your children. And so how can I turn my back on the fact that we are undeniably, inextricably parts of each other? And yet, we have been divided with artificial borders of colonialism that split ethnic homelands right down the middle, with half of our communities being ruled by one European country and the other half being ruled by another. And with the labeling of our ethnicity in the colony as intellectual and worthy of education, while another ethnicity was said to be inherently martial and thus intellectually inferior. We've been divided by the manufacturing of coups, armed conflicts, anti-poverty programs that somehow never eradicate poverty, by the selective broadcast of stereotypes, a systemic war of images waged against us, images meant to foster fear and engender self-hatred and portrayal of Africans as primitive savages whose low cognitive ability makes them incapable of self-determination, and Black people in the Americas as lazy, drug-addled, and criminally inclined. And there too is the institutionalization of colorism. The belief that anything Black is negative or inferior, and the proximity to whiteness is more desirable. It is reflected in every aspect of our lives. And I say us because colonization did not leave us unscathed, quite the opposite. In English, everything negative and evil is Black. In Spanish, la negra means Black woman. Tener la negra means to have bad luck or to be jinxed. A once popular French expression that went out of vogue but has recently been making a comeback is travailler comme un nègre. Travailler comme un nègre, which means to work like a slave. And it's often also translated with the word slave being replaced by a more offensive racial slur. But anything in this life, once stripped of its power, will no longer work. And that is true of slurs, it is true of stories, especially ones that are complete fabrications. Let's take the narrative of those who oppressed us and work it. In fact, let's take their entire modus operandi and flip it and reverse it. And so I urge you, my brothers and sisters, let's be more intentional about our unity than they were about our division. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, our brothers and sisters from the 17th region of Ghana, it will not be a difficult goal to achieve. No matter how we've been divided, we've always tried to find our way back to one another. Africans in the diaspora whose forebears were enslaved have kept us in their rhythms. The music they play, the dances, the cadence of their speech, and even the language. the Gula Geechee people of the United States still count using Fulani words instead of numerals. Yoruba language is spoken in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Brazil, Haiti, and Trinidad and Tobago. Likewise, a Creole offspring of Akan is spoken by the Africans, the Maroons in Jamaica and in Suriname. And Africa remains in our food. American gumbo and Brazilian karuru bear a strong resemblance to Ghanaian okro stew. All three use okro, also known as okra, which is native to the African continent and was transported to the New World on slave ships, as were cowpeas. We call it gobe here in Ghana for those of you. Try and eat gobe before you go back. Another food item that is native to Africa, which would explain why some variations of Hopping John, a dish from the Gula Geechee people, are so reminiscent of the Ghanaian wache. Try to eat wache too before you go. The ways in which Africa has remained at the heart of its diaspora are far-reaching, well beyond food and music. Perhaps the most important way is in the cultural elements that are taught to our children, ensuring the cord that has tethered these diasporan communities to the African continent all these centuries remains unbroken. There are the Kweku Anansi folk tales that so many of us in this room grew up hearing and reading, and that have spread all over the world to places too numerous to mention. Just like the popular children's call and response folk song that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Cheche Kule, Cheche Kofisa, Kofisa Langa, Kakati Langa, Kum Adede, Kum Adede. I didn't hear you go. Cheche Kule, Cheche Kule, Kofisa Langa, Kofisa Langa, Lalati Langa, Kum Adede. Thank you. Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, said, and that quote has been shown here, "I'm not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me." Though I have no proof, I suspect that this sentiment was heavily influenced by his time in America, where he completed his undergraduate studies at Lincoln University and his graduate studies at the University of Pennsylvania. He was also a frequent visitor to Harlem, and this was in the late 1930s and 1940s, at a time when most Ghanaian intellectuals were completing their higher education in European universities. During his 8 years in the United States, Nkrumah was able to experience at first hand racism and the Jim Crow laws. Nkrumah was already a believer in Pan-Africanism before he went to the United States. He was a huge fan of Marcus Garvey, whose Black Star Line was an attempt to facilitate movements between North America and Africa, particularly Liberia, where free blacks had been emigrating since the 1820s. The Black Star, which is featured prominently on Ghana's flag, has come to be a defining part of our national identity. It underscored his rallying cry, which was the unity of all African peoples. He wanted the story of the diaspora and the stories of all the other indigenous people who had been colonized on the African continent to be a part of our national story. So much so that At the hour of Ghana's independence, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah famously proclaimed that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. It was a heady and ambitious statement, and the years that followed were equally as heady and ambitious, full of growth, infrastructural development, and the building of alliances between other newly independent African nations. There was a sense of hope. No, it was more than that. It was an intoxicating feeling of endless possibilities. It was a pure, perhaps naive belief that we could attain our own modern-day version of the glory that our forebears like Shaka the Zulu and Mansa Musa had, and that we could build our nation states to be as exemplary as the Mwene Mutepa Empire, Songhai, Mali, and the Ghana empires that had existed before. And then came the coup d'etats, many inspired by the imperial nations. Not just in Ghana, but in most of the other nations that had newly gained independence. And then came even more coup d'etats, one after the other, following by the imprisonment and exile of our liberation leaders. We now know as Ghanaians, as author Ama Taidu wrote, that there are powerful forces undermining our progress in Africa. We suffered decades of brain drain that emptied a sizable portion of the continent's population, adding scores of exiles to the diaspora. And our nations themselves were surviving, but barely, on the remittances that those individuals sent home. It will surprise you to know, in 1990, the total number of Africans who had migrated voluntarily to the United States eclipsed the total number who had been brought as enslaved people to leaving an utterly devastated continent. When it comes to reparative justice, we ask, what is just? We're at a very pivotal place in our journey. There are those who will have us go backward, not just 1 or 2 steps, as if that would not be bad enough. They want us to go all the way back. They want us to develop some sort of amnesia about the blood that was spilled, the lives that were lost, and the years that were sacrificed in order to fight for our freedom. We're at a place in our journey where we do not have the luxury of forgetting. When government officials can so easily use the words like garbage and filth to describe our kith and kin, when they can refer to our countries as shitholes, when they can indiscriminately strip people who look like us of citizenship that they have earned, we do not have the luxury of forgetting or of either excusing the racist dog whistles or explaining the overtly discriminatory and divisive statements that are made daily to our hearing. This is precisely the time when we must advance and begin the process of reclamation. This is precisely the time when we must speak loudly and clearly, naming what it is we have lost, as well as what it is we hope to gain. Her Excellency Mian Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, a great African sister, said in a lecture at the London School of Economics the conspiracy of silence has diminished the horror of what our people faced. This year at the UN General Assembly, I served notice that Ghana will move a motion next year to recognize the transatlantic slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity. I know this motion will enjoy the utmost support from the entire African continent and the diaspora. Africa has suffered slavery, colonialism, genocide, and apartheid. We demand acknowledgement of these crimes against humanity. We demand the establishment of legal, institutional, and international mechanisms to advance reparative justice. Reparations must include tangible measures such as debt cancellation, monetary compensation, return of stolen artifacts, institutional reform, and transformative economic redress in the global economic system. Beyond the material loss that Africa suffered are also the emotional cost to assess. According to the Oxford Dictionary, epigenetics is the study of changes in organisms that are caused by the modification of gene expression rather than the alteration of the genetic code itself. And studies have shown that trauma can be passed down transgenerationally through epigenetics. And so imagine then the various traumas that the people of African descent have faced. Traumas that are being passed down from one generation onto the other. Traumas from yesteryears coupled with traumas of today and the injustices that we are currently facing. What impact does that have on our health? What impact does that have on the health of our children? And most importantly, how do we heal from that trauma? Ghanaian British actress, writer Michelle Cole wrote, "We can put fear of the future in front of us to block us, or put it behind us to drive us forward." As you debate all these questions and ideas, bear in mind that the future is upon us and that the future is African. And like I said at the UN, let me say it louder one more time for those in the back. The future is African. We hold in our hands the power to change the circumstances of our past, but we must be more intentional about our unity than those who oppressed us were about our division. And from the looks of this gathering, I can feel it, that we are more united than ever. And with a united Africa and diaspora, there is nothing we cannot achieve. I thank you. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and it's my honor and privilege to declare the Diaspora Summit 2025 duly opened. Thank you.
After that successful launch of the and execution of the National Photography Competition, we have also finalized the review of the Ghana Cultural Policy, which was put into being in 2004. Apart from the Ghana culture policy that we thought that needed review, are many of the laws that establish the institutions under the ministry. And if I can single out 3 of them, Ghana, the National Theatre, 1991, I think it is. Bureau of Ghana Languages has been doing a fantastic job. We've done the engagement with stakeholders, so we are ready to send it to Parliament and follow all the procedures. Also, the Ghana Tourism Authority has an act that was established in 2011. Between 2011 and now, we think that it's time for it to be reviewed again. So we're working on all our legal frameworks that shape the policy direction that we make, so that we can have a globally influenced policy and a local dynamics that we have now, so that the industry can grow in leaps and bounds. We successfully held the World Tourism Day, and this year we went to the Volta region. One of the reasons being that we had recently, as a country, taken steps to look at the blue economy, and we thought that it was a good place to go and celebrate this, because this is where the president went the first time to make one of his promises come to fruition, which is the building or the continuation of the phase 2 of the sea defense. So we went to the community where he had come to cut the sword for the commencement of that project. So it was very successful. We collaborated with the Soma Tutuza, which is the festival for the people of Soma, where the devastation used to happen. So it was a beautiful event that we had. We've also held the Afro-Gastro. Afro-Gastro because we thought that African countries here represented by embassies, and Afro-descendant countries that also have embassies should all come and show us what they have in common with Ghana. And it was a day to behold. We had so much fun. You know I like food, so anything food, I'm excited.
So, Excellency, Komenda Sugar Factory, we have so far been able to acquire land for the plantation of sugarcane. I took this from a conversation I had with you. I took it so quickly and I ran it with very, very quickly. I took the advice that you wanted us to have the full benefit of the supply chain. No fight about that one, because it readily gives jobs to farmers. And interestingly, in the Komenda area, we are not going to teach anybody how to do sugarcane farming. I think that once you are born in that enclave, it is like tobodom and tomatoes. You will know how to do it. And so when we went there to engage the farmers, they were ready, willing, and happy. And so any investor coming on board must first be ready to invest in the plantation. And so as the first requirement, you must be interested in assisting the farmers with money, with the breed that you want, whatever it takes for the farming to be successful. It is the #1 requirement for any investor who will come on board. And so we hope to operationalize Komenda Sugar Factory by the end of 2026. I know my KPI with you will be Komenda Sugar Factory, and I don't intend, yes, to disappoint you. I intend to make sure that I run with Komenda Sugar Factory for us to see. Start the farm, even if it means that we are doing backwards integration. The backwards integration must start at the same time that we are doing the farm, and that's, Your Excellency, it will happen. By the time you come and greet us in 2027, or end of 2026, it will be after opening Komenda Sugar Factory. Our program focuses on establishing and reviving agro-processing industry, developing agro-ecological zones, promoting value addition and extension, and integrating smallholder farmers into commercial value chains. we successfully, okay, so that one, within our commercial contract farming business, we also intend to have outgrowers, because a commercial contract farmer cannot go into a village or a town and decide to be the only person producing a certain raw material. You will not get the support of the community, but at least if you also give them some of the seedlings to cultivate, then they will support you to do that. So it is very important in our commercial contract farming concept. Your Excellency, we were able to successfully organize a national agribusiness dialogue. It was huge. The interest was so great, and it was opened by His Excellency the President. Thereafter, we have drafted agribusiness policy through extensive stakeholder consultation. So that is for agribusiness. We have a 31 technology solution centers handed over to Gratis Foundation under the Rural Enterprises Program, pioneered green agro-processing technologies. Your Excellency, the Rural Enterprises Program is coming to an end, and they have transferred their solution centers to Gratis. Gratis Foundation is also doing very well. They have trained 230 artisans to fabricate 300 post-harvest equipment for women smallholder farmers and retooled the Tema workshop for the 24-hour economy operations. Well done to Gratis. They have actually done well. Gratis was almost dying, but it has been resurrecting. Yes, it's been resurrecting. Yes, so we hope that yes, by 2026, Gratis will even do better. Your Excellency, the Apprenticeship to Entrepreneurship Program. This is a program at GEA. Popular Margot leads the space, and she's doing very, very well. It is to enhance the employability of the youth and address the skill gap within critical industries, drive economic growth, and foster innovation. Technical and business management skills are provided to mostly unemployed youth.
Ours are important too. So we are with you. I just want you to know that we are there to support you. We are there to ensure you succeed, and part of the process is to ensure that we are reducing your stresses as much as possible. We are also making judicious uses of our resources as much as we can and keeping our eyes on the picture. And that picture is about the well-being of our beloved country called Ghana. In terms of, I heard you talk about, was it something about being tired of the same thing you see?
Yes.
Yes, you have a point there. But again, the name of the country is withheld, so I'm not sued. There's a certain country, they have something, and it's a collection of metals. That's all they have. We have such variety in this country. It's amazing. From even the rivers, and we should stop polluting them. Our landscapes, flora, fauna, what don't we have? Our history. Ghana holds more than 60 of forts and castles in this space called Ghana. 60 in various shapes and forms. And the story has not even been told. There's still a lot you can excavate in this narrative, and it can form parts of the material the librarian is looking for if we do it properly. Okay. So it's a question of how you promote it. The same person may not go there, but others will come, depending on how you promote that particular thing. Okay, you go to a place, they're charging you good money, they're taking some, you don't even know why you are there, but they've taken you there anyway. They're giving you long stories, you are a bit angry, but what can you do? You smile because you want to be nice. You see, but we have such valuable resources, and we need to, they alone can generate so much into our economy. So I just want to urge all of us. And yes, they recognize High Life and Kente. It's about time. It's been a long process, and I'm very, very happy. First, it was the castles. We wanted them to be World Heritage Sites. But there are also provisions. I think our people in UNESCO will know. So it's not so much about getting it to a certain level. You let them come with their conditions and then find a way in which you can send them back to them to support you, to grow them to where they think they should be. Others do it too, so why can't we? So again, let me say that it's been a very, very valuable visit. I wish you can come soon. I know it won't be soon. Someday at some time, some place, we'll try and return. But we have, opened our doors. We've opened our hands. Please come join us. Let's work together. Let's move our country forward. We are looking at the success of the country, and you are here to take one arm of the many, many, many arms that we all need to support. So that is why we are here, to hold hands, and at the same time also to hear you, okay, and to establish the links even more closely than they have been in the past. Always come to us, our doors remain open. It's only by working together, it's only by listening to each other that we can make the kind of progress that we know that our country deserves. So, in fact, I wanted to establish that. And of course, to meet all of you, some I met in previous lives, and some are meeting, but we are all, still bonding as a family. Definitely, your ministry also cuts across others. You were talking a lot about raw materials. I'm sure agriculture will have a role to play. So will transport. So many of them. It's one of the things I want all of us to be very, very mindful of, so that we avoid silos. We are also conscious that we are working to others, and I think that also helps us to be even more efficient than necessary. I counted 10 agencies. I don't know if I got the number right. And I got 9 SOEs. Okay, so your arms are everywhere. But you are doing well, so keep up with it. I'm also happy to note that you are targeting women and youth. And I don't think that is lost on any of us in this room, why I should be interested in women and youth. Okay, the youth also includes the boys. And the women, we have something to do in your lives. So we are all in the same, just for the sake of differentiation. I'm also happy. I noted your interest in the rubber. Every time I ask myself, okay, if we are importing something, is it possible to break everything down? Let's say Aboboya, just for example. What are the parts? Is there one thing we can do? Must we get the finished products, or is there something we can contribute? Even if it's just one small item, we can add another and another, and before you know, we are making the whole thing. So these are some of the things that I think about sometimes. So I'm very happy about the tires. We can't import the car and then the tire and everything. What else are we going to import next? So I won't go into details. But I'm very, very happy about that one. And even with the production of sugar, thank you. If you go by the entire value chain, from clearing the land to planting, to harvesting, to carting, to the whole process from the factory to even packaging and distribution, you can't count the number of jobs you create and the number of the types of expertise you'll be honing into that particular factory. So that's very, very important for us. Maybe even if as a matter of I don't know, agency, for lack of better expression. We are going to use a backward integration of the economy. Still, we should keep an eye on how we're going to start, because that will give us more benefits. And another area with this sort of thing is to wonder the sources of that semi-finished product. Already talking about more people you need to examine the things we are importing. So what capacity do we have? So the standards board people should be interested in them. We should find ways of supporting them so they can also do their work well. It's not enough that we have seen this on this market and it's not good, but, and you know, it's always easy to blame someone. But I think, you know, giving them the support they need, getting them the right training, the right equipment, and the right evaluation systems, I think will also help them. There's no point creating unnecessary pressure on anyone. We are looking at efficiency. So thank you. And I also like the comment you made about gratis. You know, they do so much. And we need to have a list of the things they can do and how they can make them better. And then cut down on the implantations. There's so many things. We train so many people, and they're not doing anything because we are, the things they can do are being, supplied by someone else. All of this will have to stop. It has to stop. We have a high birth rate, 2.2. We love our children. We want more of them, but we need to learn to take care of them too. All right, and so the local production is also something I'm very excited about. I remember those days when we supported local production of rice, and you could see made in Ghana rice everywhere, the banners. We need to get back to that, because what they are telling us, and which I believe too, is that local rice is very healthy. So the public education and so on. And again, as a person, I will not say that if you want to eat, I don't know, imported rice, you shouldn't eat it. I will not say so. But I don't see why I should subsidize you. That's all. Yeah, so the local production is very important, whether it's textbooks, and I'm glad that the others have expressed interest. Very important. Security, yes. The others will come on board, believe me. They'll all come on board, and we can get a more productive, vibrant country. Even if you can't employ everybody, at least make an effort and make sure that you are making a difference to the stresses that individuals are feeling. So whether it is about uniforms of different types, not necessarily the school uniform, military uniforms, police, whatever uniform. And again, it takes us back to your presentation about the raw materials that goes into the production or the finished product. So I want to say that you are doing very, very well. And I hear you on your love letter to the Minister for Finance, my son. We'll do the best we can. That's what I will tell you. It just has been a tough situation, but we are trying to remove the bottlenecks. I keep saying that if you can look at our budget and ensure that about 60% of that money stays indoors, you'll be making a huge impact.
So, what would you power 97.9 FM? So, Memo Kwaba. Memo Bibiara Afishiapa. Afi say no trade ampon yankopon amaya kuma so bisa de etum abem amobibia. Afi say na animu hwe anim na aye nije aye esre sa. Aka 12 days me the year 2025 ekogu mempai boni so trade ampon yankopon betumi all share true ma me ne nyina na yetumi ehu the new year 2026. Baby, I will be ano jeso amen mamie. Idi amidi so ye Nicholas ya Owusu Olsen. Over to me Afro-American Nicholas. akonya kese ye Mugabe masa akonya na endefie ose ken ni tenamwe na fa ye di dwuma pepepe te sema ye de bia inside politics no when say Ghana had ye the biggest socio-political platform inside politics it is Sambre akosi 555 me chefa se me ba na me besomo na inside politics jumedie and some gu bamba so no ye bie mo delve into it na ye di ho nkomo men sembren ma memfa na sekese ma ya affiliate radio stations ahroa ato apete o Ghana no mutie Engligi FM o Bole Savannah region for region the for regional capital Nananom 92.5 FM the station with the greatest ambition edunum wish na for south so Nedria Nkwanta Charity 99.9 FM ya ba Tano South Bechim High FM afadwumedie bi ya kwabono a domane importem Nkran Nkwanta border town into some part of Ivory Coast afadwumedie bi omutie Nsuruma radio afabi ya from Mantoma, make sure Volta Regional Capital, one of Volta Power 94.1. Alpha Jumedi, Ninia Global FM Afebi, and Nuasi Radio, and Buem Omunano, Ewo Oti region, and then number of radio stations or Mafa Jumedia. Ama baby, I will be our tea and ka no huma ekwaso my ganam. In Chiaka Koma Obibia, Otie we affiliate radio stations in so. Name on but the nation's capital, Accra, a power 97.9 megahertz. Make us say they will call some part of Eastern, some part of Ashanti, Central regions, and we need 97.9 megahertz. You caught multi TV, Digibox, audio channel, a power FM, Sasson multi TV, satellite channel, Mapacho Bebre, Ubehu, radio XYZ, Wobeti and Call so TV XYZ, at the Dem Sawaswa, no so bet me a share with TB. You were free to a platform, so and free to a digital, no so bet me a share social media, a Power 979 FM, Facebook, a TV XYZ Ghana, Nina no, Ubet me a share with Facebook, TikTok, you call a YouTuber, a XYZ broadcasting, and the Demusa, Obibia, a Shebi, Dia me just so a Nicholas, ya, Ousyoson, Ubet me Afro Nicholas, Mamenda production team as a Pebri, Mr. Kelvin Asante, Medawa say Papa and Pomo to say, on no boy Chidom, the executive director, Edema Jumedi, on no producer Bibia, na Oshama Bibia to me a conkai, TV director Naso. TV and director so Ralph Jampo and Sana Nunia Peter Cranton Elder Abbas Shosikaye on also ho Saso na Mr. Emmanuel Kisiko share and then abedi there on also ho meba main studio sir ye wo Kofi the boy Frankie waha and Sana Eddie so Francis so waha obi a we siesie ma me ho ayefa me momo eti rawriaw me nuaba Elizabeth Tego ono so na we siesie me kama ye nyina no yaka bom na ye mo bibia afihia pa afisi na yakoma so ebisa de otwedi ampon yankopon etumi aye abaye na metene say would wani chemo Prussia Uni Valley constituency bosso gangway cooperative responsible mining e koso wa omo treso ma shase enim so omo rock man so make say global or Chinese phobia tete omo hopa cooperative mining e koso ho no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne vision say krobia na ye tu forma gudie wo so no or say sometimes a bomb back one as a pit and as a shaft back ye mom to kwa bosswa ye dia mom say gangway no mundi di ho na eba ne say na China global phone betumi afi ba bi aba ebeka say MPP time na de concession mo aha ne hin nti chairman Dela Guda oni nunua chairman Sofo Osman mo aso na mo ye ward chairman am wa boss ne importem mo form 90 form aboso man no titu youth no mo ano mo hwe mo menim say enyadia saade ne de ebebem enti de tene no now on more serious note ya kwansem gu bamba so na ye do so ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama America say in the diaspora summit 2025 course Accra conference international center make us say idea and then omu be summit na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama odia to Africans ye nim say ye more and I say Africa be here say ye be can boom titu ye nuanom before mo diaspora no na ye tumi yama unity about external forces na allow anti-poverty programs ye ma dividing rather mom ebe uniting na ya forget regional demarcations no na bibie tumi akonka nti ufi diaspora say wo Caribbeans wo America baby a wo bia ye nuanom before mo tumi kopie mu slave trade mo kopie mu baby ye na ya ade ba kon ensem no de ato adwumadi so abro mu bie the Diaspora Summit 2025 wo Accra International Conference Center yenkwe na yenkwohwe first gentleman of the land His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wakasa wo dwumadi ase yenkwotie mo de tudwa.
So I urge you, my brothers and sisters, let's be more intentional about our unity than they were about our division. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, our brothers and sisters from the 17th region of Ghana, it will not be a difficult goal to achieve. No matter how we've been divided, we've always tried to find our way back to one another. Africans in the diaspora whose forebears were enslaved have kept us in their rhythms. The music they play, the dances, the cadence of their speech, and even the language. The Gula Geechee people of the United States still count using Fulani words instead of numerals. Yoruba language is spoken in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Brazil, Haiti, and Trinidad and Tobago. Likewise, a Creole offspring of Akan is spoken by the Africans, the Maroons in Jamaica and in Suriname. And Africa remains in our food. American gumbo and Brazilian karuru bear a strong resemblance to Ghanaian okro stew. All three use okro, also known as okra, which is native to the African continent and was transported to the New World on slave ships, as were cowpeas. We call it gobe here in Ghana for those of you. Try and eat gobe before you go back. Another food item that is native to Africa, which would explain why some variations of Hopping John, a dish from the Gula Geechee people, are so reminiscent of the Ghanaian wache. Try to eat wache too before you go. The ways in which Africa has remained at the heart of its diaspora are far-reaching, well beyond food and music. Perhaps the most important way is in the cultural elements that are taught to our children. Ensuring the cord that has tethered these diasporan communities to the African continent all these centuries remains unbroken. There are the Kwekua Nancy folk tales that so many of us in this room grew up hearing and reading, and that have spread all over the world to places too numerous to mention. Just like the popular children's call and response folk song that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Cheche Kule, Cheche Kofisa, Kofisa Langa, Kakati Langa, Kum Adede, Kum Adede. I didn't hear you go. Cheche Kule, Cheche Kule, Kofisa Langa, Kofisa Langa, Lalati Langa, Kum Adede. Thank you.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Cheche Kule, Cheche Kofisa, Wamaya Kai, Papa, Sambreno, Edruha, na Wuhon Anchor, Oba, na Pempemia Pesavi Debi, na Obejina Ha, na Cheche Kule, no si Cheche Kofisa, na Chese Yena, Yeniaje. Adedekum. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Wakaye, Ye Papa, say Africans are more intentional about your unity than external forces. Na ama allow anti poverty programs in dividing anti sanity na share regional demarcations. Some were Caribbeans, me were America, me were Central America, me were so and so. Nti anyade baako ye nyina ye yade baako we ye dwumadi a akoso wo diaspora summit 2025 eno na yate ho ensem abro His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okoya okobie dwumadi no ano nti de eteno no enra so eniema ekoso ye kohwe enra business ahro ekoso on the floor of parliament na ye kotiatie bi etumi aba nti enkwai enra ensem ekoso what Parliament, young Combra.
In 2023, my colleague, then working in the office of the Vice President, the head of the Economic Management team, came here and approved interest payment of 115 billion Ghana cedis. 115. Today he's crying over an interest of 50 billion. Is that not surprising to you? 115 billion was approved in this house for interest payment
last year,
just 2023. And yet these people are now surprised that interest payment that is 50% less is wrong. Mr. Speaker, what type of gendarme mathematics and finance is that? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, when you complain that a government is going to draw down loans that you have contracted for the government, those loans were contracted by MPP and we are going to draw down to finance development. He is not happy that the loans that he contracted, we are now drawing them down. Mr. Speaker, so what does he want to do with the loans? We should go and cancel them. So those loans that he's complaining about are loans that were contracted by the MPP government, for which we are drawing down. He should go and look at the financing in the budget. Those are project loans. They are not Eurobonds. They are project loans. And if you contracted loans that are being drawn down, it is very surprising that you have an issue with it. Mr. Speaker, these were the descendants of the people who came here and were borrowing $3 billion a year in the Eurobond market. When was the last time you heard Eurobond market in this office, in this parliament? And yet you are here. People who run this country aground, people who declare to the world that Ghana should be declared bankrupt, and they spent 2 years to get a certificate of bankruptcy for this country. And these are the people who are complaining over 12 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, is that not surprising?
The Agriculture Ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture, needed major investment to boost food production. Meanwhile, the prudent management of the economy has resulted in the purchasing of presidential jets. Those who say they are managing the economy prudently in this 2026 without providing for job creation under their own 24-hour economy under the one job, three shifts. Mr. Speaker, there is no hope at all for the youth. What we rather know is that the two ministers who were supposed to undertake key reforms.
Leader, you indicated you are concluding.
Yes, sir. I'm concluding, sir. I'm rounding up. The two ministers, the Minister for Public Sector Reform, has been rendered redundant. Nothing was provided. She is just at Jubilee House doing nothing. The Minister in charge of Special Initiatives has also been made redundant. He is just being paid salary for nothing. What we know is that so much has been loaded at Jubilee House for compensation. They say they are appointing only 60 ministers, but many government appointees, Director of Agric at the presidency, Special Advisor in charge of Agriculture at the presidency, in addition to a Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Speaker, I am concluding to say that me, I'm a you takamba me nuchumo. Mr. Speaker, I've been nuchumo. Imbo nuchumo yo. I'm a beko 24-hour economy. I'm a male. Mr. Speaker, in other words, they lied. Under this budget, the appropriations before us, the fact remains that we will not borrow from the central bank. We will not ask the Bank of Ghana to print for us, just like was done some years ago. We will not. Mr. Speaker, let me now refer you to what I'm asking this House to approve for us. Mr. Speaker, goods and service budget. We are asking that this House approves a 13.1 billion Ghana cedis from the appropriations bill for goods and service. Mr. Speaker, this means the government is spending more than we spent this year to run the activities of government. Mr. Speaker, aside that, our colleagues opposite, when they were in office, they left us gargantuan debt, a debt that has been restructured to the extent that, Mr. Speaker, on the 3rd of January 2026, government of Ghana will have to service the Eurobond that they paid, an amount the Eurobond that they borrowed, Mr. Speaker, an amount of $710 million is due for us to service. This budget is going to pay that. Mr. Speaker, let me also say, and that is 3rd of January 2026. Mr. Speaker, we are going to pay the debt you left behind. That is what this appropriations bill is taking to do. Mr. Speaker, let me refer you. Under interest payment, the 57.7 billion Ghana cedis we have projected to spend we are going to use this to service the debt they left behind. Mr. Speaker, in fact, this would have been more if this government has not put in place prudent debt management strategies. So, Mr. Speaker, we are only cleaning up. This budget is only going to clean up, and we will continue to clean up, and we will spend the 57.7 billion Ghana cedis to service the debt that will fall due.
NT and Ramekoso of the Parliament House on the floor of Parliament on a name who Dr. Atoba Forson, Minister in charge of Finance, na Okasa, Yehu minority leader, as well no Okasa, Ura, Afeyon Makina, na Otuto Papa Swa, Finance Minister, Ato, or force depreciation, no church anymore. Say, Nyadia. Yebeko Bank of Ghana no ma printi sekebia amaye no o cheche mu a bibia to asom nti ndra me ko so ho no budget ho komo ya no muguso a omudidi ho enkomo na yinya ne ntese parliament omudi begu 20 na omotumi akọ holidays assign aba no moba omatua dwumadie ne so inside politics dwumadie na waso gosoi ana wo hwe wo TVXYZ wutie wo power 97.9 FM na edu sam radio na de apomode ho komo na ye de bro na apomode ho komo nda kwa Friday de nye bebia se Abozo Hebo a clinic doctor no bo adwuma ye papa doctor no meseden obo adwuma ye papa Dr. Agbozo nipa ba miensa ama direct omo motumi akopapa we nyina no omo ba e good news no omo de breme and Dr. Agbozo owa ha me ba ma na kwa aba na bronyen o se ken bronyen anya de a metina fie anya de a medi holidays ni bi sa adoma chede anyame de ama me se mente ahahan no na memfansa yare no ade a meguso fi se yare nim holiday yare nim bronya nti ade a obeye adwuma papa ono wa hai ensem ni na no ehya na de betre wo your ban infection say how bema infection say how chlamydia gonorrhea syphilis ne meka ho en masabio a empem komokra na ade anyame ehia so oba ne bema empem agora nyame ehia so a o se nche mukọ mpem a mote de no sa de no mu because infections are raw hamo a yawa mote ne meka ho oba wo bu nsa wo bre yi papa ene niema hrowa edi ni panya doctor wa ha oba cheche mu ebia first time a wate ne nkani ebia wate ne nka wontu anamo tie no nkomo no de maye no nkomo na chi no tu anamo na oba kasa de kre Nicholas kan Dr. Afishiapa I feel say na say Abozo Herbal Clinic na me biem maniama ekwenani mpa
Ken ma medical ema ahwefo akwaba na mema obi biara Afishiapa in advance if you say akabe 1 week na yedi bronya yes na Ken many haji pass Nyankopon edi nyina nyame ai bebre aba beduru sei Nyankopon hira obia na Abozo Herbal Clinic no munti na doctor me fie chiri na mabetena hase na te said ye me bra penyi King Nicholas kan no amamfo ahya se free bisa say doc mo be adwuma holidays we me hye mo bo say Abozo Herbal Clinic Xmas we nyina ye mbreki ye adwuma eno krati tuka na na me se me ba betena se life no maka achiro say Abozo Herbal Clinic we are waiting for you nipa bibri wo hono mo Xmas we ena mo bejibre amotumi abaye nchen erunti yeni break biara including new year nyina ye adwuma enti mo amofre ebisa me sa questions no sa na tie ye adwuma pepepe na ye moto no ena medical aboso empanyifo no se moto no eye omode no man has an expiring date se uti sa moto ipe se oye bema na wani da so asa abanyansafo mi bu be ye nka wasem se no man has an expiring date. Yen ena sexual weakness expert. Yen ena sesebi penis no eyarea. Ye no ye wo home medicines ye ma penis ne drew. Na penis na ka say nyana no aka say yes. I have wake up. It is over any kind of sexual problems bia na wodi wachinia enye ya Fabra Abozo Herbal Clinic na Dr. Behumi Ankasa. Na mehwew na masaw ya de yebe mo adura mo anu mo ho beto baby a wo wiase bia de bia meka se mo amusi mo akiri no just called me maybe I will be on treatment no ya de be ma no baby will be on sabeka eti bronya we die ye screening na hodo nyinara from ochina eko kopim se ye be wura new year ni nyina no ye screening na wa holidays we mo ne mo yire no ebetu anamo aba tie me couples mo ba a free screening ene be yama ye ko ene yama couples ana sa wo de girlfriend eba free screening ene be ene yama efi ochina Nyankopon ya adoma ekono all the branches enti bomode ya se wo do yire ene wabusua beba na mo aba be screening bi na yade pie hye wo mu a hunu ye no machines na ka kire yama hu adura mo akwakono na also afisese next year no e ma ye mfre wo se be ma odobrada ana ye nka se ye ka me ma ye se aboaji no man has an expiring date. It is a erectile dysfunction how now we from the age of 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Now member someone enya bra Abozo Herbal Clinic. O buy your machine say ye test. See ye be show na ochi. Ye be catch so wo de no ubenya no bosom ye be catch say instant ye be kan nyina catch machine be chire ye testosterone and hormones no the level the hu e dry the be more treatment. Into buy your quality treatment and I hear into ba boa ho say oba be treatment. Me pa cho ye honum na ye treatment and I hear no honum. It is a yadian aye crown crona so you are coming there for what? A correct and then what? Accurate, correct treatment. And a one. Into no bra, Abozo Herbal Clinic to an amobra clinic. No, baby, a Ghana Hanum Biano, so treatment. No, a bit me account pepe or brown my crana, you bet treat to pepe more why then, or what? Into Pessa only me dinkomo na Ofremia, bet to me a frame was 0 and we and Crahanum. Numbers never screen is 3. It is a also to me ready, you know, and what fun is up pepe. Oh, and Crahanum and now Kufuridia, now more obey the whole of Greater Accra. No, bet to me a frame and mobile WhatsApp me. It was 0241 75 0282. Mobile WhatsApp me and mobile frame was 0241 75 0282. Now say onye diabetic na onye hypertensive wa me pa cho quick start no eye adwuma for mo amunye hypertensive and diabetic if you say diabetic ne hypertension na ehu adwuma no eya na take time kakra ansa na erection no asayaba na mum onye diabetic na onye hypertensive a quick start no eno no cham eno so because of asthma so ye pen tentem na ebia o pese o di bo adwuma o girlfriend be ba besraw o yiri be ba besraw on che no wasa kono eno ye quick start o ba cham eno ye be ma ebi wo hodom nyame ya no chena frame was 0241 and WhatsApp me 0241 750282 0241 750282 it's erectile dysfunction kojoto 3 days to 1 week no unya diabetica ubenya pepepe diabetes for no and high blood pressure from a week to also now erection ashase eba it bragbozo hebak na be hu doctor agbozo na be patch of fremia kan problem a wo kire me say me diabetic me hypertensive and now frame so patch enye adwuma kura ka chem say enye adwuma ka chem say sorry nkitinkiti obu on ma enye adwuma iwe dread be ma sorry mu nya din iwe dread be ma but obu a sorry kura so be ka kire say sorry a na ye memremre me patch eya ka no kure ai wo mkire me o kan white ka chem say doctor o tro me WhatsApp no ka wo fie so ayedan aka ho number na 0241 750282 enti bronya aben ye guso ebo akire wono se bronya na ebe ye nko holiday bi agozo heba clinic ye adwuma even including 26 boxing day ye adwuma pepepe etutu anamona bra na hemorrhoid ekoko no de bia me ka se obi biara hemorrhoid ewo ho bia no se o hye ho dinyini du baabi na nchia wo sese a otena se a wo chia hemorrhoid se unyini edu baabi e hye ho ache na anchia osisi ya wa tenase ya wochia ana se wo tenase ya utimi tenase enche wo se wo sorry because eya eti hemorrhoid eye koko mu amugya mo na ya na bibia ba be hye wo to no me pa cho bra na be treatment oh ba me hye wa adwensi ya ma wadru na no eda no na ho ato me pa cho eye treatment because sad it take some years ansa na develop ye pm wehu sa na hemorrhoid sumaye de eti oh ba bra ye nchen se oh ba be treatment na nya abotre ye treatment na se ko remu a emebium enye se de bia no ubegya wonan na se bi wepia na wodo nsa kwa kohyem da bi nyankopon amone sa it is wo hemorrhoid wo ye oba wo ye berima wo ye akora na wo hemorrhoid ugya wonan na wo kokobo ba fragbozo heba for doctor was 0241 750282 ena se wo kumase amuntie me mo amu wa Ashanti region no tie me na tie me ye wo Ashanti region Kumasi me pacho ye branches no Kumasi DCM so Main 5 Old Insurance Junction ye Kumasi DCM so Main 5 Old Insurance Junction ti Kumasi for nyina no wonu oyere mobile ho na be test na ana ho kanika ho a free eno no for spouses ana se couples ana wonu fiancé enti se wo ye won kwana ba o ya mpacho nye free na mo se wo do oyere ka ho na se mo ba na wo no oyere nyam be test se ye pese ya pamagudie no eso ani a ye be ya ma free o wa Kumasi afrem was 0553 CCAO 0553 41 7752 and also bet me I was happy me 0553 41 7752 and we Ashanti region and now what time and important one 0557 40 2696 more tema monko tema community 25 Savannah Junction o Volta o tema uwa Shaman team ye me branch no e wo tema community 25 Savannah Junction enu Adowenya road me bo Adowenya ene ehonom Volta region for memma no me pa cho munka osimika osianama ka je anacho obu na maka ye efri say you move adwuma papa monyire no mu frame ya say doc efri say ekuru no ba wo nche ne de ade ne de ano odene yes Nyankopon ya adom a ochina bo modin a say udi weni ebe kire agbozo heba clinic e wo community 25 Savannah Junction TMU Savannah Junction. Ehoya 0557 40 2696. Tema 0557 40 2696. Tiko komuna APU no me pacho fretema. Oko hodme na di besi bia no beti bia fre head office. E was 0241 750282. Na waka kire yen so. And a prostate enlargement no here ya de. Wow, bema me catch bronya we remember ni nyinara mo ba bewe nam na nhwehwe mu am ye hu se enam we abrusu bia no cause prostrate papa se munimu a enti se we bema na tap ensam bebre na ope enam we bebre a utiminya prostate enlargement enti pepa cho ememma ni nyina mo nsalai na experts we munya kwan me check mo prostate no problem ho ya mo wadru anom emfa prostate enlargement when a rubber near the show no and fanko rat 2026 me patcho agbodo se ya show rubber bramin chain memo adru rubber no be timi you say ya show rubber e wo be mem ukojo nso abi mitare wa ha ujun so wia no we yakoto egu mpacho be manye sana ya mebo e ma pampan kraba ho bomode aso de we ne be kira agbozo me nchen memu adru am one prostrate glance no e be shrink back am wa jun so man afem normal eti eno no ya agbozo he back clinic majuma mitumi ye no back no e na o low sperm counter ne pacho ni nyina no oba ye nchen ya be yam infertility oba o menses no entumi ma oba be sia sa o menses ma eba sa sabi imprediasa kosi bibia friend say mood swings de bia wo ha obi nka okra na obu afu enti sa menses ntam yi a agbozo herba clinic enti me bre no ya ye bre e wa han musidum yare na ye san be se kokobo ye ade e wo ho pa e na erectile dysfunction ene de say obinim dada no man has an expiry date premature ejaculation wa ye masturbation ache na ada ne premature ejaculation pacho braminchen memu edura mo wanuma sa premature ejaculation e be jai anase wa ye masturbation person jai braminchen ubejai me pacho me be na ayebre enti ba me fa 3 numbers no tuja na me sorry Kumasi 0553 417752 Kumasi 0553 417752 enkra ye wo kwashima na ben kwashima Chiefs Palace enti ba bia free bia no si kwashima traffic light wo so hwe kwashima Chiefs Palace no ye ben ne pe 0241 eno betime WhatsApp me ana bronya we mo o pesa o buki abuki 0241 750282 ubetime WhatsApp me na obefrɛ me 0241 750282 ena tema 0557 402696 esmas we yem breaki enti bomode aso baba me nchen na yade we amabobo su nyina ana se honam nyina ba bia ha obi ano frɛ me honam twetwe ni nyina ba yama bedo asese hwe me na otie me same time next week yebeseshia
yebeda Dr. Apoza semayen kwaja aboafo nkrato ba ko mienu miensa yeba ye to inside politics jumedie no so oh
I'm pleased to introduce to you Cancer Mixture, a herbal mixture for arthritic pain. Arthritis,
It's me.
Cancer Mixture, no, Cancer Mixture, no, Cancer Mixture. Yeruba Biarana no Drew, Moria, or arthritis. Cancer mixture, obey your juma when you put it inside. I'm a face in the grand. And if you did, you know, menu on your market for your button, I want one menu for. First, baby, I'm from one Sanka, Senior Susan, Bonibiara, home doctor, and I report to FDA Med Safety App Nodo.
And Katui, FDA, App Nodo.
Ah, now, again, I obey ya. What that for my son here from
Oh, Mr. Entry, also ya titi be ben fiepi now so ni yamu nyono da se me show no ahodo amato a me hunu hwea ebe ya nwanwa
menyi ni say what also tamfo hexa capsules any hexa mixture ya no mbom kotia also no bia ma no anom anka no ho to no dadaada also dro de eno any hexa capsules any hexa mixture
akom ni nchiremu
also ye kura eto ye funu ene ensunu mu etumi a wo ye funu ekeka wa wo gire ho a enyi also etumi e ma wo ye cheko ebre a wadidi awie so how aye also there compare hexa capsules any hexa mixture nanum bom na ho abeto
pedudu etu a ko okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takradi AA Mensa Anafre 02038228855 Apefo abatanya woma won mofra no fo ene mofra woni mfie dumienu enka ho Hexa capsules ene ne mixture
also tamfo edie age edwadie nkratoyi atom
Hi,
Now, let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables. They have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Obrebo eye edwumada. Ebwa eyam eduane. Ebwa eyi insa free ni peduanim. Na ebwa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso, woni se niema a yedi na yenom. Timi ma brebo ye edwumaden sen pote.
Mehunda. Me brebo ye juma pa e bia se me tumi ye bibi bo me brebo
ani and wanting what the live here from the Moses Clinic we have our center about herbal food supplements we see pa de bo brebo ama e ye juma ye
na e ye juma
fatopa ye no anopa ne enwumre na eboama obrebo ye juma ye sene be ya e betimi anyam aduane a wodi esiesi ni peduane mo eyi mo finsi ye
eno na me brebo kia pa
Ubenya Live Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, ni supermarkets are ebeo. Sa wo pedudo so to a 0244 06 8447. Live Kid, wa wo brebo, wa wo ni pedua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo, e ma ema omomanfo, ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumie. FDA agi dwedie krato yi atum.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 Ga West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
The Samo Aquaba Edeba TV XYZ so baby Adri de Semegu Bamba so na yeba ebedi ho enkomo yewo eye Kwadwo Yeboa or former youth organizer dema NPP Ayawaso West Wagon constituency and sana yenua Charles McCarthy editor in chief dema The Hawk newspaper ekugu dami na meni omobedi adwuma endefie goyo mama Aquaba Bibi aboko de.
Nyankopon adom ho
ye. Yeda nyame ase. Bibi ofie.
Oh bibi ada na kwa.
Afishia paso.
Afen committee afisa say na yetim kom. Na dia ankosi afiwe no. Nyankopon aye na mo.
Na bro nya wudi nsai.
Enu put na me de. So buza good question. Who buza good question ba. Eh good pa. Because those shit they were near. Who's the last way year bro nya na nya papa. Okay. It na kware so. But na date 19th. Still now the say that the same thing mu. So bia he that
o men say dante say bro nya e be nkofo complaining. No.
Who say dante say nkofo complaining. Nkofo o ya mu. What must say? I feel person would have made you some one example that you microphone. Or ya mu no more. What must say? What do you nkofo akwa wine? Ebi na musa. Udru kra o fele form so ama o hombe so ama do sa.
Okay.
What must say? It ben ka say nkofo complaining. Even me complaining, cast complain. Who's all complaining? They were transing complaining away. I don't never trans all can be different. Because I wo Infantino Abraham jet is so and then 19th. Watch our next way to go room. Who can say what say? What must say? And the young cry will go for be die. And you do one him so quadrant in brilliant meet. They say, ah, the airport in the Benny at the Brugnano. Obi complain ba mo ba set so na mo say bibia anko yesa e depend for no mo
bibia anko yesa
o da bi
kakra kranche
eniema ye ton no market eniema nyina wo fom na de no ni bia e for e de na
sika wo de beto
wo de beto na ya sam
okay
what ma say nti wo make sure say wo mo bi wo mo nsam no wo make sure some best spread am microphone foforo what ma say
anu
te dum pempenzo ya mani age dodo na ya no mo ya do ye ho tu say be ba am ta kan Ibrahim ama say because one dey and pempenzo was one was settled do ni nyina o show ma be obi Ibrahim obi da Ibrahim e bi so mponi ni sika na epa e bi dey numpa ba bi o mo dan dey correct ba obi na obebo obi what was da bia na kwa one person na kwa Ibrahim tu bo say do na obi ayo so na anya bia mo kasa anya bia mo mate Ibrahim kan Ibrahim yetene kan e wanyimfa utuma benen watene kan eno an se de ekoso no se Ibrahim pe na so ya doye utuma se priority ba ko ebu ka bo mu emu timu amaka ni nyina mo make sure men ka se bia kwadwo ye bo a one send these full soldiers na complain no from ni ade sa 56-57% no o make sure say bronya we obia botombe de obia nkwembe de utuma se na de akwakodun se uza mre bi atwam eya na the flowers o afin shapa o munya azade no obi ani dis ade no phone so e ma phone po freeze mo forget sa na freeze
flowers
oh no afin shapa ni send ni money yes apart from men send bibia sa out must say and ya na ma gya kokko mi no ofie akoba ko ofie no kone ko fa no fu ene kra mpo chese ha ade no ye ni sika ono apakoko beto ni obi ana se opakoko se kra mpo de bi pe wotima se abo fro ti ade na onye ni mumu ne nipa no fa nkoto ne de ne da bia se ona uchusu emu no so no o kokofa emu bi o de sigya so a chese ebetu sa me da utu chese amu we a because one of the NPP flag last we oko we no o che emu bi emu no obi ana otimi di ne de
abengana
wudi besi so ebe ya de ne mma na so so eme wo be sensu agu ho agu eme da saa na tie otima se ene wo sa ko
be chance
no what forget some way ebi na oba be cha da bi obi enim so betade papa emo papa kakra na edi ntu de ayi kakra na de ama no mo ma mo nkrofo ni feel your grounds said they be the next 4 years your co-election the next election 2028 ebe so simple mo ma mo pa da bi ani ko ma nkrofo nwinwi otima se your nkrofo bi obi na standard otima mo make sure standard beto to aso once me ba me share okura ofidia na using pone mobo once do ba bisa enema bisa nkoyi just makat be fini fia ba just wo de hwe no use moto no de aba na bu na wato kada to chance to no use kada na ka bono ka so de be bono obia no atam da me no me no obia no atam atam moto so ba be 50 years o do be bia wo nwu na mbebu etia de na nipa no beto ma 99 no wo de anante me no me no da me kan kre hwe wo fie obusuanfo pese omukun na akoto moto a obi aha obiem omnu se wa obewu wotima se so ade na chance ye dwuma ye wo twi moto za enye no kre ya ko hene na punch e wo ho wodin fro steps upa gane to obetwi wotima se so ade the American say there is otimi se niema bebre nko yie those niema no tinima hu se wo chance
watwi moto ache watra moto so ache okada na do so ntese exchange na brabo adwuma wo ye mind benefit na dey this time na no setting go for na obi an wato ne niam akoso kama obi an complain adwuma de be ye wo hwe ntiamfia en compare the previous administration so obi anu se ho de ho nye we ni ye papa papa no so man krofo ani nye because nye da bia no be betra ma ye be ka simasi no qualify obenti no qualify na dia mamu enne wo ani gi mu otuma se de ne wo de ontumi ko ni gi man nye the Christmas we me sre pa we ni se me do for mo se do na tete for mo obi ani ma ye mobo o sa o mo twe ba bia enkwanwoma be free aba na enkwanwoma na fi hin mama one of the tolibia o mampani ko 4 times that am NPP youth organizers ye ko ni fie ni kokostar no and na afia so say that we the president for so nya time akọ ne ho na ko bonko mo kakra ye wie no okọ osim di nyame jamo o kan ne ye nkrofo ni na wo mu nyina ekọ nam si nyankopon bia enu a wudi ni gyaye and o say ade nam si wo ni nyankopon no ti wu gyaye ye nko yin fa ne ho na wudi ni gyawan afi no to was e ho no friend special assistant no and o call top no ko fa bibi no mo de bai ye wie so wa wo ni nyame na no anie ti ka wudi nyame ni gyawan Yankopon so any papa the funny pass on one dream family me share wo na bi intimre no so say mo make sure say mo be yama nkwala no mo fom ni nyina obi ani beje otima say because ya no de afidie so ebi o kasampo ebe hu what about cameraman no gina ho what I say what about the producers o mo share dem na say machines no mo tie che no MCR for no mo go no mo de mo mpia bonte ye mpa ye ba hampo ya na ehu omo otima say ye ni mo mpo aso da bia ba be program mo so na mo control bibia at the end of the day obi ho no ma wadwene sa amrante we hu ana Muso am hostess da bia meka ye penkrofo mo ye nipa bonefo am ani fa somebody second mo kwa na mo kwa am aba da bia mo bibia ye correct omo am no mo ye dwuma de nka ho en de me se NDC host fo aye ne mo na mo de wo pa bonsamfo a abonefo am na mo dikai abonefo de mo na mo dikai si enkogi ne enko ayen fa eye mo na mo dikai papa ye da bi mo nko a bi mo anan wo a wo kan 99.9% aka only one 2 for 1 mo dodo ni nyina sa na mote so I don't dey mo nkrofo ni nkobi mo kwa mo fa bi nko na mo mra especially mo na me mo ya adwuma chewo NPP host for me no mo ya ba mo me ya adwuma mo hu sa mo die e dai man ko mo nko na mbefa bi am bagye bia mo nko mo de na mo afa na mo de kofi otimaze so obi ansi mo achi ama information so ba na ko fa se ma ba otimaze this obi si mo achi be ka se o asimasi ko e ma no 1 2 3 na no mo idede akotwa no ye mpesa biom this time the munyama de ne nyefe no obi ansan kan de nkakra na ntimi ko anim enti de ntru sa na metima ka no
but I say kojo mama Charles Akwaba
King Nicholas Mejo
bibi aboko de official passo
afeno nyanso ye
afena na yesimi
bosom ye 2019
Ose
bosom ye 19th afeno ko bi share na mama official pa fin share because uni me nya obedi obronya o ma ho official pa me nya ni amedi na me nya ni amedi be krafi nti untime be mama official pa
sa
na si ekona be share na bibia ye kama na ye official pa na fia be akwa be twa no ho mbone isi na me metra ngaza official pa Kinigolas
na mpo move to say baby ofi
ye about for life for bobo ye bobi enye Davi entina financial ye to send channel ube channel for fraud there for ba official pad 2025 we
baby ofi boko okay
see sharp fear see an edi baha na me wa yes an eda so na mu bibia sesa o hwe ye ne bibia sesa King Nicholas me hwe on hwe sesa won ho sa na me se wo hwe me ahwe sesa wo me ho ma sheche bi comment mi nyimiti
kana woni bi
o ma miska the balance you mammy double, some in the moon. The balance you, we ex mineral water, mammy, you men no more men cosonte. Would you do an account?
Yanko, ye name, and summer a good bambasona, ye by a bit. I didn't know and como. Ye share a panda a rerun elections once a may buy because a Supreme Court a day a year or shadow so say yen train. so kakra ma halt elections e be koso wo pandai Charles mama Charles wo hwe
yo Nicholas masumwa amencha wa hwefo mencha tifo mencha wa nkasa amencha wa production crew Bandai rerun Supreme Court said was suspended pending processes are Matthew Nyindam a fairly year court me
sir
I think say you bet me as celebrated Supreme Court intervention on my year the papa news for the first time in several years Nicholas Supreme Court had decided to rule against a party in government.
Yeah.
For the first time in several years, at least in 9 years, because 8 years under Akufo-Addo, Supreme Court will never, especially when it comes to election-related matters, side with the opposition. Anyway, as a done the Supreme Court, as they say, omo dream bafi so omo dimra ebeye juma Matthew any the party for nkoye campaign because enye dan azem no mo be di awie so mo di wie nso na I offend and rerun and baswa because the Supreme Court did not cancel the process consider be was suspended because there is a legal process underway. Nti mama ye exhausted no answer. Say exhausted ni wi a nya court no be kan no. Na e di ato aso afi ho no. So it is in good order. Nicholas, yeah, both Supreme Court abaso no. Ni akate Chief Justice say on twa na ni hwe na judges o mo form ho. Court of Appeal, High Court for
Commercial Court.
Omugu na nimu ase. Egu judiciary na nimu ase. And by extension, egu Ghana na nimu ase. Yeah. So our judges of my decision na 45 minutes time o ma frɛ no mass some rulings. Bakusi wa ha. ABC wa Eastern region. Ye kwa ye be and ye nkan watchna it will be the part of the sins of NDC aman. Say NDC ba yi judiciary no must on ba reset no. They say ni adu say court ma decision wi na ye pon a judge to miss afre a lawyer for ban chambers no wa be send the ruling. So our record we Nicholas we don't want it for John Dramani Mama. And to be a sister or tenacity, no yen the Jumay, not caught in infant to my pen frano, and no Namifi says so more. Because the NDC promised to reset the judiciary. No, many sure says, Sir, reset we, and I never present Mamma team. Many sure says, Sir, reset we, and I never NDC manifesto committee, not dream with you. They said the charge my decision now. Oh, quote to me for a sign bra. Na was a son. I don't think this is a reset. Say no more resetting now. They should reset and reset the judiciary well. Because judges me in recent time. A man sample agu court agu Ghana judiciary animasi. You tna kumasi. You tna crime. Enya nan wotna se Kufudia se Kadiu se then the MCB DCB asem
da won sama wo kan ina no Kumasi and crime ne e den sensem na ama okasa eno no omo eye judiciary na ni masem wo won kire mu ntimi hu
metri mama kinuka medase Kumasi de ne ye marriage ordinance marriage of mine in Germany. No mudi hun krata omudi nkrata ko to judge ni na judge ni say signatures ni so enti onni ntum as if say Germany marriage certificate no ɛte sɛ Ghana deɛ na signatures ɛnyɛ mmienu pɛ na ɛwɔ so Ghana deɛ no witnesses signatures koraa ka ho bi sɛ wokɔ witness ma ɔbaa na wɔ signature wɔ aseɛ wo witness ma bɛrima na wɔ signature wɔ aseɛ saa ne teɛ ɛnyɛ saa na wei no mu deɛ no teɛ na judge a wonyɛ expert in marriage certificate na wotumi de wɔ adwen ɛyɛ wei sei na ɛgu court no ho fi woyɛ no fi wɔ a maame na ɔbɛdi adanseɛ ma a akosi asɛwa no ɔno nso no krataa no a yɛde ma no authorization note no na ɛfi aburokyi ne baeɛ sɛ ɛfi aburokyi ne baeɛ no na ɛsɛ ɔmɔyɛ attestation yɛmmisa maame na ɔtena case no ɛyɛ Dorinda Smith ata sɛ saa witness no authorization note no ɔno sɛ power of attorney no was it attested to anaa if it was attested to what happened to the marriage certificate then amemfa no nto nkyɛn nkrandeɛ no a mekaeɛ no Nicholas ɛne sɛ case no court tena asɛm no so ɛna wɔatu ahyɛ da sɛ adeɛ kyi a mommra ɛmɛgye mmuaeɛ adeɛ kyi yɛbɛyɛ 10:30 na court no tena ase by 11:15 na court adi asɛm awie or the judgment or the ruling about 5 orders and clear. In those 5 orders, there was no condition say comma 2 million Ghana cedis. Omu pie you pia ko granting interviews to bia kofi. Na judge directly register mum fair lawyers and mame. No afraid lawyers na ko chambers. Akosesasiu. Mina mekaye. Monko for 2 million Ghana cedis. So shall save you 5 million. Nicholas Ghana wine and obit raise 2 million Ghana cedis in 2 hours. Bank bang and never mouse I scan. Say who was asking crowd bank now cost or more can they count 2 million Ghana cedis in 1 hour? 1 teller, 2 tellers, 3 derby. Until any reasonable. Decisions of court must be reasonable to even madmen. Why is it? But the woman decision say no beer to Ghana how beer to muse a unreasonable 2 hours untimi obia ntimi register. Kino ba ya oti obia ofie we. Assume you work court na cost for 2 million Ghana cedis but now wo kofi aba. Can you do it in 2 hours?
No, na kra na bank no. 2 million Ghana cedis ko me 2 between
and I make enti say etisana say judge yes say ya enya ade say yes so enya ade say 2 powder e ade gu court no emufi and yes Supreme Court betimi ama decisions say but oba say wa ase enye na kwese na ntwibeni enye sanity okutunu hunsro na dry into Supreme Court that by the down mo high court judges no omodwe omafuru ho eseno mo integrity they think about their stomach more than their integrity menim say na sa judge wo da so te ho so a judge so chief justice asebni see na wan ho a esiwie wante Chief Justice Bafu Body, we all year no one who are ye na your man now so ye report to be Chief Justice who ye won't ye. So what things were then we are found. Oh, train says CD the Belco, yes, savvy, no my better judiciary near corrupt. Now, Mopano, no. What I say, yes, Entino near decision Supreme Court, Diabano, yeah, Ghana for the Yebu court. Ye bed ye to a ye. But my young fan Kaya was a nanu being so a tramun court and the matters like this. A nanu be a tramu, me electoral commission back us obey bia and an court near day, a fuaso. Okay, electoral commission can say young court show you dean or district office. A month for the court and the answer. Electoral commission so you have a birth certificate on fan trading. Ehunhia ebogu ye wo for the court and fear court say nyamuka ne no kre was a bus. I must say the garanta and some baby. Is he a number to do an coso under the last 8 years? But say ne Supreme Court are now timid for 4 hours taking decision in favor of a government. I said that Supreme Court decides no. Midimrabe ye juma ye mambo because a nan will be a tremor. You know, the judge question. Supreme Court now, sa case no, na omu di case no High Court Cape Coast me boy. But Supreme Court the case any fire. My directives say Judge questions to cease to hold himself as MP. More than 1 year. I just because in a court manning court Supreme Parliament until finally Amokoton Saba. And that same Supreme Court and we say Sabi Nyansanim say court get one a car sama no one can hear at least yentimin koso and koye and yamabi. It does a double man coupon. Say maybe see aba my fenyo mark no more. A system say changes up and say Nema and Tissania a tiano. And can was no musru go to court. And yani poo, when people are called Sumako winning case. Protos are there. Uzumako winning. The same condition I hoy don't Peter me would ye who court blockade. About by Supreme Court, my Supreme Court blockade. At the same time, not touching myself. Not court, dear, some smooth. Okay.
Make I pa.
Martin James are cause I did 2020 dear. Or more blockade, I may, or more tries on my blockade, I may, with no more be quiet to Muha. Someone in the small no more clear case. But another, the court, Supreme Court is behaving reasonably, but it should trickle down. Mom fam ran enter Supreme Court to pay. Woman man High Court, then call lower court. Ne one mudin some money no. Nicholas, a browning in a lower court, no mudin some money no. Because all court school no be to book some man. And to feel that this is the right time for me to pay you homage. Because yes, I can judge any year yen there's Nicholas. Say no be na friend. And then yen sabi wait to be na bandit. No one see. Says I judge in the so no one see. Or suffer or normal.
Monko 15 January na Mombrana.
Nankupa or Shagana see. On Shen so my. Because a bear was so bad for that drink as some who. Now the actual would ruling about. I want to me facade we count until say court a biapo bia coffee no after man was a man and made 2 million to say you no now kuma muni fear Nankupon Shano.
Yo
say Yana Kumamu and no mashana now why dear Divia wono. I will ban in Krubo.
Yo. Medasenti Charles McCarthy sona iti the submission. Mamembra kujo yentio.
Mini Hamidas.
Rerun Pandai.
Mesa fa kwenye so menche for ni ahwefo. Ena mini Charles McCarthy di kankana. Ghana mrade etimiye bibia. Etimize san bibia because the way it's saying me chop back no the Supreme Court for ni se sre omo. Omo amunim by election enema etimide ba eba. What you say? Ebo wo me constituency upon see the na ewu but ye kan ewu no ye de nyame nsa wia the woman profit nya na no den pa what man say acquire school hospital BBS bia entino Supreme Court me the BB about the political way score what you say it do so the agro the be anasi get committee report on zan can be te wo ko ba election no won de wo na no ayi ba awoyo mba so omo enuza wo betwem na me boa omo tuma hwini ba ma wokoko wu tini nya say no ma atan and the make can you call Mr. Supreme Court for omo to form ɛni hwɛ pandaifo ɔmo nhwɛ ɛna sɛbiɛ nyaado ɛnsa nkɔsesa baabi ama na nkɔ ankotia pandaifo ɔmo yɛ development paa wohwɛ deɛ by election sɛ ɔkyɛke ati wɔkyɛke some of the constituency by election timbam wɔtumi sɛ aba ɔmo kɔkɔto yɛ no ɛho nsɛm na yɛ bebree wokyɛke a wɔni so nyinaa bɛ wonhu deɛ wɔde bɛsi so the best ne sɛ yɛsɛ nkɔnkɔto ne bie mu a sɛdeɛ ɔyɛ first lower court ne kan no ɛsɛ supreme court date ni mpo de ɔmo twi mu mpo ɛbɛboa ama development ɛtumi akɔ so yie because assembly ne yɛmfa no sɛ akɔ 1 year yi 1 year ɔmo anim sika kɔ a menyɛ sɛ bɛduru 10 million Ghana cedis o sɛ duru mpo de nyankopɔn mpo na aboa Akufo-Addo time mpo de na bi nyɛ de bi mpo nkɔ wotuma but mampani we call them say oba kakra yi 4-5 million 6 million there akɔ all the districts na the assembly islam ɔmo de yɛ adwuma but pandemic ma show boss say by election ba so ni etimi nya 1 month or 2 month interval ba dem a about 200 million Ghana or 300 million Ghana ebetuma kwa ma development there aba nti anu nkwa Supreme Court mfo mo ni show menka so mo konko ye attention already the decide of for more said you decide your proposal call one of the your sister radio ya akoko Saudi and start Hausa no wosa na ni agya wosa eno na NPP phone eso mutimi hu you call na ebua bi mawa eno de normal wo call effect odi a wo si wonti ase eno faale wo ha no faale ba miensa ene wo delay process yes so mo said yesu hu mu de atimi akwa o mo ani gye mu o mo ani agya o mo kan panda de nkedi kwa say even Supreme Court mponteteni asa gantembo mo de ba na mo so we dey normal thing mo nkora mo goto aba ne akọ na mama yi sita no akokoto aba no na sum duaba se nipa na otesu no be say wini o se do obi fufura won so ba no be wini o e kama ba development de be ba won be boa ama ne yamati akosi ne yete Ghana hay wonum say NPP for na se bia mo nko na nim yanza bibi e favor mo bia ye perfect
okay
bibi e command NPP bia na ye papa ba se corner se command DC dia nya de papa ena makati kan motima tra na mo Supreme Court da bia 5-0 7-0 mutu bi kan 19 no ba akupa bi na se kwa 7-2 ezo 2 na no kan obi anim se enna won be try de papa sa na mo de ye every case e fa yisi wo bia mo ni yisi na ball match even bia be ba mo bia na so simple Supreme Court na timi transem so ebi mponsi mpo da wo 4 hours no obi di petition ba na mo timi transem rule na favor NPP nene se changes we aba na sababa tuma esremu mema mo nyane se no ade nbi ba mo nyam niam te se mo ye fe ama niam toto yi ama other political party for so hu Supreme Court onya NDC for enya NPP for dia court no Ghana no na Akufo-Addo make sure sa P court do asem bi o do P court kokodo P court near dey do say poku so no do say na me classmate primary school one no Akufo-Addo ba no na go contest Asante Figures so yeah banko ne baso na contest the late baso
okay
when people take this so Akufo-Addo man so ona kokoto appeal court na NPP ni ono na contest be 1-2 na so honom na se be kokoto na wo expect dey be obi because on ma say say e game no akokoto no obe wuru so simple and ono a serious NPP ni as you aso sankofo enye hope of the nipa bebre na kogu those places Chief Justice Abaya sre no we make sure say bibi ebeko fom bia o man anim emraso because one say na no decision boni a judge no e decide ye no eno na ma alumba konya yie boni sa so tiase ayie bi si o legend ye na yie na hwe MC niam bibi ebedu na ebeto na nim bia no woka wa o hwe MC a o MC program na hwe program ayie ko so sabi ni partitu bia na okwa ayie ni bi obi a o wadwen papa bia na o badwen ba bia na okwa ayie ni bi obi a wodwene konkan dwene kwa ni mu bia na okwa obi akọ obi asanya wa personal interest bia onkoda panimu bi okọ bia de panimu enya panimu ebi ayena bibi kakan wanya ena odi akire because asema sina ye asem wade honfu se ya panimu ye de na otutu ontuma na okotrase wa utibu amu fo etu omo ko ayie ni nyina me fa nsa sabia mu sabia nya no ni papa bia nhye ni
enti se metwase o won se lumbe ye no how ankofo kan o monsan ye no bio
ayie no se ye no se trase ye ni ye na no de se moguo no mkoko ye omo mko ye no personal interest no mko ye sa de no se bi nyansa bi anim se sa o hyiwsu yi no obi se me ye na matimadi ewia se ba ye obi abusuapani bi ani wa se bi nya do na adwene nya adwuma sɛ lumba busu apani
oh
ne nyankopɔn so ba
dia
we de nyame
kojo wudi na tem
pesan waya
so obi anye de na adwene ye
na me mabusu ande we busu apani anti ɛdeɛ bɛ nhyehyɛ ne ɛtra ase ɛne yɛhwɛ yɛ timi ma na busu apani what am I say what am I we dia da busu ho na sɛ mo tra ase
one second for Roman father na no friend HT mu friend na bio ne bisa and say papa na ye no ye ma papa na ye ne fe
wo de ka so ko fa naba wono ba bi obekɔ bi awu na ho so de me ka sɛ mo yanku anim na wono nipa mi enu ananto bi awu a wo ka sɛ nyehu be ma war na yiri wu a second one wu a put automatic as a third one be wunye
you de kona ho and
the American say that the lumba the American say a ye na course say any foforo what am I say now the hwe unu sabato so pa
oh yes
na mutimi to abama obi no a former MP no abegina obi ayi ase say mosimu petu part 2 pack money bueni ato abato nkohye mmra mmra hye bedwaman challenge ko fa dwene wo fomu o buei yes or former MP we addressing say wait na uvia no busa say senka aware ya mmra
assistant ebusu
aware ya mmra assistant ebusu apani aware ya mmra kan yiri jan be 3 years ago because of what we need and usunu ba no hyehyɛ niam nti saa nipa wei yɛse wɔ former MP ya gege ne so ɛno no wo ba ne ya guide no me sira me ka wo mo agu ɔman na ɛwɔ no international nyina hwɛ o ɛna lumba de na ɛkɔ so saa no obi ehwe o wiase nyina wo nye nipa ketewa na sɛ obi nim yɛtumi nya nipa bi nim sei ne ya prevent even me fan area mu that day me fan area mu kokɔ fa ɔmso makofa efuru na ba no ɔmso mo maka mpo mfa ne fie nanim kwa na da wo
yes
ɔmso ɛnam si die nti sɛ me ha ya no mefa tell me who the police for no so I give people me ba no because adwuma pa wo ye no onkrofo ni bi se show kutu pa so make sure so beto to niema ye because niema onkrofo ni bi ye no wutimu se ya show ya mo dem de wo mu ni bone na mo gege bone
so who say ya mo obi adem de ko who say ya mo obi adem
de police for I'm telling you no mo jalumba fie ho wutimu se nipa gibibi and wo e ban sen e kwa da ho no wono pe na awu wono pe na efuru what am I say?
Lumba fie anim ho de kwan.
Kwan kase kwan ya kwan ketewa. Musumu mani pampa so. Na wote police ni ania breeding din so mo obi akwan. What am I we nyina ayasem. What am I say? Enti de meme kan say eniema e call so anko ye ni ade no. Ewiase nyina atwa picture de akire ye nyina. Ye nyina amfa ntua hofo. Se we bibi sa si dia. E na ekọ nyina ye keka mafuru ni keka madampan. Lumba andi si baso a eniema e fa Ghana ho no duru ba bia ya no mo yomo afim. What am I say? So mampani ni na NDC team no omo hwe ne lumba ye ade ana ni sister hwehwe na only one thing say e kwaya brand ne fa asu ni nuan fa asu enya de papa etian kokko autopsy keke na ohu de ku ni nu we pe na ni nu aba na hwehwe wo mo ye wiase niam nyina ma nipa timi prevent ye wutimi za crophobia se biam se bia nya do sika beto omo kwam keke nya so mo hye danim e make sure se be prevent ye ama autopsy na ama so ya se akosie no sie akosie no susupo menya hwese na esie pepa na even the day na me twam ofie na nim no ayi ane atu abegu ho no anwia ane atu abegu fie
no so ate o
omo tu fifie na ba bonte omo wi omo sa omo de ye de ofie ho this is one thing I mean the twam na gu ho efihi na ba begu ho yetu no ofie ni mu ana etie ko ho de na ekoso empanifo amko transfer hu bi da yare be na kunu ntese emiesu legend awu ase emie bibia so ena obi ahwe what be that ya gunu ve no ya maria na say wo wedding what me ni atrase ni aye saade we na ade huhu ni aye what me say e die enti na ekoso ntia ni ati honum saade we abusuafo ni kwaso mo ati ase so mo timi autopsy
no abusuafo pani si e twerɛ wɔ ne willim o twerɛ wɔ ne
willim na obi wu a yenya 40 days in my na eden ya will ya bia will
and any pon will crowd we wu for
we na wu will be no tray
sa no ko say
what man say
o say no of
what man
ko jo tray
wɔ no na ka tray no will be na bia so
will court na kind
will mu na nimtia
what man wa ye mu anim
sa no ka
na wunim nyankopɔn na to da
nyankopɔn timi fogo na
ye fogo wan
wotimi na nyankopɔn ba ne ma bi ho no se obusa se wotimi bolum ba ko to abusua we mu nyankopɔn da bra
na ka so de bonjom
because abusua fo pa na ne koto mu wotuma se lumba se nki abusua no bi na betum wotuma se hwe na na ome ame maame na kura do film hwe abusua papa na ofim hwe de o mo hyehye niema abusua pani ka sa tumi se we o ka sa kama na we de so be gya popo so na abusua pani akogina so
wate ne movement
na gire nya djuma abusuapani na dwenya dwuma onim nyansa da na sa nipa wait wonum yeso abusuapani
we times your more orders and also what in movement
na me
say si amamo bi ensuro say be friend to park
na aye na se no mo keka sa niam we o na wo trans na wo ka se we na
odi share da form na mo se mo nyaje bibia mo launch movement Saturday we then ekoso. Na me blame am say ko bra Santeman. Yeah you Ashanti region. I remember when I lost my mom. Neighbor. Ma me man from anunsi. You be sure otum for calendar na ho no. Ye bi ho bia nsam wo ho ne de ade. Ana say emre ni wo no bibia mo chiche bibia pepe wo. De asem wo hu bi o be make sure say be ka asem no ama bibia to ye ansa na ya move. When you are hine baako so on making sure so obey mediator no wato to niam nyina kama ni nyina chi King Nicholas edum pempen so ade na duru ba bia kama mo se ye mo fuma asem nko mo ye ni mo am kwa mo ade
mo ebusiapani ndi insan ko mo rejected
who reject ya can be papa bi kira mo to o hine baako no ko ye say onko ye na ye say ade be na mo so mu ye ade ensa na ye
when you
approve am approve so onko ye
na why say one jensa no
who busa sisa asem si wo na no asem si wo me ba o King Nicholas asem si wo northern region anu adi na ye kan no otumfo de ma fe na no brofo be kan wa na wasem si north wo kan ho brofo esi south wo south de wo si anya wo brofo asa wo twi su mo
we ya him for so months
and ko si sen
o ma carry no ma carry
o mo take any decision and ade na koso tantanta say na affect nipa ne nipa ketwa sasem si ba bi na otimi ko kan wo fie de ade na otimi
ba me to me there 40 days in me ko bi Independence Square how mo ye wakra ha ye enye bebi a na obetumi ko na ye fe
o madwo mo anu so luba ye no mo na betumi aye
guy bibia me dey gram dey mo
o na sa no mo kan luba ye ye fa mo no mo ye o mo na enu ma ye say
Baby, aye no dey.
Mo call Independence for 40 days.
Me tell you say aye no mo nim ye. Ba we nu asa kufu ado ama no be bu ye. Papa ni nyina no mo nyina wo we.
Me 40 days in the mam ko be solid.
Vigil night ni bibia go.
Yes.
They make catch Charles on Timas here.
Okay, cool.
Say ye ni trans na say ye ni ya. En she shon be no kura wani beje. Ade we the first na mo ye bibi. Ade na asa kufu ado amamu. Ni papa ni nyina do mo gu bench. And o feel what in the phone ebu ni man the same thing abusua ni nipa no mo wom omo mbebo ama ne makoyen na omo mo di animu no se escafobia omo di animu ho na nim nyansa omo so mo escafo no mo di mu a yes esca de sabi unze no akufo adom we satama we be di president no bi eni ne president oh yeah buzia be di president no mo guy name on the friend no omo se sabi ebri emre afi ebri mu ti omuga na na chim for the friend no because unzemre de pa be kofi authorities wa wo de bibi enye yi ti sa na mo friend no eti sa na ade akokoye otuma enti abusia we de lumba de ba bi okoda ye de enye enkoye na de wo wia DNA test hu hia o ana kinu kola lazam hu kola bi won de anu mo sew na de na wutimi hu ni pa we de no lumba mo man ni ti ebi mfa DNA test ndi de be ye eno de ese omo ye se we ni na omo am anya DNA si wo ho se no no mo prevent you DNA test ese ye nkola ni nyina obi asa lie e do mo koni aye na obi ayi doubt of inity
na obi suspect say mani be ye unu akudo ba
me kra me suspect na wo lumba nie ni yiri nie wuti say adan munya asa height ni fi mo man lumba mo ma bojo ho we die wuti be say different one who frame who fi hin na be frame ufri hin because Ghana
ni bia na nketu ani bi
wo se wa mu nyina ya ncheke obi a me ko bo obi din wa mu nyina ye me sure be di any test ama Ghana fo nyina nyadwe agen sakra wo say
but and then ma me samo me feel say ye sie na wie nti ye move on
lumba die we si anya de papa wo ho a
nju fo so mo san ye ni bi
ye ndie ya hihye mpo ese mo hihye e prepare ya ne
kama mo ke dem so mo di ma kwetene
oh na sa de no de interest na Ghana ha metima ka kire musician bia
ni mo enu mo we interest wo
yes
lumba
na say lumba
obi a wawu a president atwete owu a parliament almost spending how many minutes
they
Shaman for Musa line Ekolumba fee ekwa kochia
big man
because every reasonable person when I make Osuma won't to me
what must say
it a year naba me okumasi
wankwe me
was naba me was
me so obi a wo wa ya anya wo bia wonkwa yie we se wo na se anya wonko wonta
entina ye nwanwa se
ebinimo ko
obi de tie
ni bia okọ ho bia no obi kọkire ne ka wo
yeah
odi de ka na kọkire ye
obi ko hoko ne election bi opeso ko
popularity content ba penyi omko mu nyina dodo na nsa wu
what must say
Mempese asem be but they also work 40 days na oko Independence Square o baby esawo enye baby ana but we dey obi ewure mu street foi na be mu na ye basa
musician na
one
of the
how mo ye no your baby go
one of the senior musician ka wutimi ba bia wonne no ene ba obra satama no mu peska
na dia ye be ka kojo
da bi me nye kojo de me man de so da bi na me kan na champo
na ma chanko
ana
na ma chance
and
na champo
so mo ba 40 days
yes na champo de na me na champo
na boys who for ample
na champo de na me
20 se na ma make asem
no anko obi anko
na champo de na me
they would have
even a
sa ko de would have
of UK o producing and o mo na
edu wi anu
obusa won wani big na captains bata wo ye dede see o friend bra penny wango
mami na champo de no na champo
sata mo
sata mo bo onyum no na wo ni obroni na ho lumba eyire na wo hwe mu produce first about
but woni ma dia na to ndwom na obo
ba aye na se na akoto nkebede na wo kobo nkebede na yo ya na yo
bi je na ndwom a wo boy te one of but also
nkebede na ye nyum
upa mo mbo ye na bebra
na ye ka na champo ye nyum Ghana ha
na champo agimpo be na tawo chakobo
aye nyum check ni nyum aye nyum half
checking of equity na champo
entu ko ba kutia for ehon mo ye dey enti wo so
so wo kutia na ndwom a Ghana fo
e boni me so mo ko hon de dipa bi ko obi a ade konti ko ho what must say wo carry agu eti wo so ye ka so wo
na mo ba
na bi akita na so na program ya bono na champo nyum na sorry sa na cheza ne wa bia panimu a wanya sika na nyum bi sorry sa
lumba nua pani ni na
1 week no wa hinfa
no wa hinfa no ntia akra no ntia
40 days
1 week no ni ga
no
oh na se ana oba
ofina wo je no fi bai
chale mu mai mu bo na e samba ye yen fofra ya ti mama ye nkwenim
empanifu am wo Ghana ha mu di bone won krofo ne mase no it's time I say mu jai because of mampani they are going to me ko fa say mu bai
kunafo
what must say
na wo disika ko se obi kuna ya esewara
wonim
ya
ti kro wem na nakufa de ko fa nkrofo so ko tremu Morocco so kai security for no onye we ni mu ni omampani mahama na nkrofo tato no tiso omo ye din nakufa de ko fa into traffic ko training nkrofo na ko fa ne ma bebre ba ye o enti asira ne se de omo mo ni ma wa nya de wo de ne nko a wo yo bibia fa Ghana ho bia hwe baby amfam na nsi fam na mo mecho be broken ne ma ya toto ne ma yi autopsy ene ya enke kama what must say ama suntinu obi anim de kumulumba we se okowu hospital no susu ma emma bontin se ade shen se papa se enye papa o Bang hospital onso ma bontin da yesi owu fie yesi owu hospital yesi owu ada na nti omuni we omuni obi okasama fo ana mutin fa letter ma bontin se wa mewu ha o ya ni fun ba ana obe yare be da ha na ehwe no nipa ne nipa ketua nyankopon obo musician odi we ba ha odi lucky dube ko South Africa odi cha no 111 ko di vu ani se o ka so makuma mewe mu 1111 we afa blondie
on the downstairs
yes ya Ghana for ya de pe na elumba omo maka nyina ndeta ho musician bia ni wo obi ani wo me kan na moate obi anya musician omo maka nyina eboa elumba na omo maka what must say enne lumba ne nyum 30 ball no ne first enyum e di shemu abesori asa obi bo current obompo agese okonom za ase what must gum what must say west bien e ba den what must say enya papa hwan yimienu ana me
omonom nsa amosa
na no enyum ne nye asa duane nye de gisa oka wanu ansa na watimedi what must say ene kwa no mugua
se man kofu ka se mente we no
thank you and musician baby em naka ya hwera de yo enu tie no bia fa ati omo se be ka ho asem akopem se because me tiwo pa am se lumba so timi wu na nkrofo bi to
okay but I say yembra so Charles McCarthy men call so biom na yenhwe AG extradition on Ken Ofori-Atta reactions into Ken Ofori-Atta say ye be within no baba my mo ye di abutre kabako na naba
Attorney General Dr. Dominic Akrutinga Ayeni say we okoye accountability series and odiko tu that say why we bibia but Ken Ofori-Atta for top lawyers and so on through official I'll give you up that now
consent
Nicholas what is what top lawyers in it say Ken Ofori-Atta is fighting his extradition top lawyers in a day oh yeah low lawyer I down lawyer are you a lower lawyer the whole Ghana ha una out to abide for a band marasama 80 years what start the process no but Ken Ofori-Atta is fighting it what catch and say and Ken Ofori-Atta has hired top lawyers in US to fight his extradition but unsuru you will meet them in court what do you about another now oh prepare ya nyama ya dia tumuso ukona anye ya you say Ken Ofori-Atta the top lawyers if UK US and I bet you charge no I want me what problem because me I mean your lawyer Ken Nicholas me say emrani ni Ken Ofori-Atta afa what I say the law is not on the side of Ken Ofori-Atta when it comes to this extradition Ken Ofori-Atta ntimi in country ntimi improve human right concerns in this whole case ohweta ma yeni ni shaase tama odi fi Ghana ha no a share say is it May ending me wa ana May obeba ye man no nko treat ne ho no mudi days ni bia ka ho ama no na from May ebedu by this time Ken Ofori-Atta ma ye na ye kase ye kotwe na ba I don't think say obetimi a fighting when it comes to that US laws so obokro no a wabokro no what I say to see here the say tell ha no obokro no amra ni wudi no America so say obokro no amra ni wudi entine no so ewo ye ntimi ontimi nka say a double jeopardy because they dikan di na asem dada and yes person ye di na asem Ken Ofori-Atta cannot say that ewo hanom I say entinu clear say Attorney General Percy and clear so oidi Ken Ofori-Atta bagana obetumi di naba ma onya ya adwene na wo prepare say Ken Ofori-Atta ko fa top lawyers ntini bibia betimi asido onyim film Ken Ofori-Atta kosoro no bafom me say emra no wo Ghana side say betimi di naba and one see be make a proper case special prosecutor failure baako ma Attorney General failure because kaso di no to Interpol red alert eno musa yi ni fee so eno kra yen kan ye eno kra no na ye enough grounds for the removal of the special prosecutor for embarrassing the state Ghana and a case pending enti Attorney General ya kawasama na de me power chow marshal all the forces you can all the lawyers you can't gather brains are no more office or more few or more that's you know baby they are still under your office bring them back hear them it's if it will take you to hire another lawyers another chambers to support you aye because I say Ghana ha ai Gloria Kufu abreso yeni Africus for nya case no okofa marital brew ata no mo koboa no emo ko execute case no successfully and other lawyers H Prempe no mo nti se ne also one case now would do two muso nipana would in a train or cover international lawyers, top lawyers. Now when you say we are underground lawyer, what do? You also hire top lawyers. Don't come and tell us. Say well cover top lawyer, also cover top lawyer nibi. Say who did this? Who not top lawyer? I'll bet me a meet you more. Or you're underground lawyer, you can also go and hire top lawyer. Say citizen, only pan individual, or to be a top lawyer. Not the whole state. Call Ghana. You to me fat top lawyer. Then I'm sorry. So ask them we. Say, oh, Felix, our case we are. Can you go last? Eh? You be no will call for his head. Way. Simple way. Mumfani my. Now we go to one back to America for the neighbor bro. 1 kilo of gold, America for. They will give him to you right away. I see. Then the Viana more personal bad than the normal. Yeah, can see on my best tradition, make sure be the quarter. One of our baby and via that Joe said they process very normal fast. And your mother won't me fight it. And I'm not gonna lawyers in New York me advise you can fight to extradition. O ma san cha butri ka me bo a. So no so mo person mo de ne ko. Mo ko di na asem wo. Yes ah. Say enti yeni America enti me nya nhehye. Say ye di ma mu yi. Mo so mo fa ye de mre ye. Ye de enti me nya san so no. America de no mo be fa amanfo no. Individuals no mo ri o mo. Individuals sika and omaji o enye state ye de ne state no man ni na sika o man mu ni na sika and ye ka sekenu fata din nsaka na wa misa property na wa use sika na say individual akwa America timi di echi ebe chi na manfo di kwa na enye o man Ghana sika ye kan ho asem nti me say case we a test case. Ni na twe way kini go sa case we am fa go mu na fa pu ni tia I swear to God ya bechi aye mo Ghana they say what demonstrated clearly so you underground lawyer because anyome na me kan you who want voice about me about or see o makofa top lawyers. Oh yes. Or jet to say, a lawyer near topper down no. Yes, sir. And this a lawyer no, I was now one. So if you report, can you go last? Say, you go for lawyer. Now, in your estimation, that lawyer is a top lawyer. What does that make you? So if you say, you at the same level, in the practice, in the country, in the country, over the top lawyer. I could find lawyer. I could be good lawyers. Yes. I could find one of they were high, one of a respectable law firm. Correct. Who can say media? But I can say top lawyers. And is the way underground lawyer. We underground. I won't be me Ghana judiciary. You can't do that. May I say Charles McCarthy? And no Mrs. Case way. Now your castle also say my freezing virtual asset. Physical asset na day. Virtual na one ni pada any. Virtual now we can't quantify no. And na we freezing. Physical na you bit me a kind ze din dey suwe no. One ya honre. Yeah, nipa adwumbani wo nipa timo. Say ya adwumbani wo nipa operate no adwumbani wo ni tima you can see na namuntu. Kinikola anka me be confiscate wo niema na wo dan we si ho a enya wo dan we na metimi age first sa na o se ansa na makọ virtual wo de wo pay virtual you are looking for virtual asset whereas the physical ones are standing enterprise insurance mus dan no mabubu isi fufuro ne wa kufu ado achieve no for Nima police station wo call run about na ya sinking down when dia na can father den da wa ton on one na
Medase. Kwado, kinti wa.
King, medase. Me starting fi baby me odi wie no. Send the banks na yedwuma ana me boa. Data bank yedwuma. Na no kra ndisi buy. No mo kwakwa gibi. Omo kwakwa gibi bi kra loans omo gibi bi bo.
International. So Osaka Bank of Ghana Salman so for fan to omofo.
Yeah, what my so adwen the bibi be mbo sama na dwuma ni bi. Ya nka ese ni nyuma ye wo ha nyina because the say opposite kire say we wia ye ndi odwane o ma biem. Sa na opposite kire o. Senko be ba enke we hu hia mpo se be kasa wo hu. Ma se wagye atum so abokro no no odwane. Nya de be ba Ghana biem. Na me ya na me ya say wo mampani na Akufo Addo o penso. Wa wabusuani and Akufo an be finance minister. If you are simple bin see that's a president and the case ba ko president ba ko finance minister. Sikani na mumie na mo hwem. Ana mo di na mo de koba. Na se wonu oyi o cousin na ye bibi say ya. Na akin ye ja papa no te wo. Wono so sabi na busua na animguase am for because so tie mo se Kenoforata ne papa so be di sa positions there you. Kasi say ye krono kese ya no bo Ghana. Akrono akakraka no bo Ghana no so yes anema na sa to be gimme bre eni eja no ena ne bana beto aso no be bode original one ena odi ye film na Akufo Addo di president ka opani na ope obusua ne yi a ka mo ne be kasa bra no aba ya chiwa to one day na no sa oba gift o worry wono krampo ye oba osimu pampan duro ye fa no friend day third day ya mele na nya fa nyo ne court na edi wo wie ne court ekọ papa afa ekọ boni mu wane dia na ne ho ato no wo se me dia mema na abusua na te honom wa hwe sika mo wia ne ntoto ya mo ya ni nyina na mafa ne no ma na unu si asa je abusua ne di ne fefefe so na no hu na kra do yiase hu ba bia na na adote e no do na ni age obe mampa days of mampanity so no e ho ne ma ne tena. I remember when
as former president
so what sata mampani o mampani na otisu emra wo fi so ayi me ma wa ayi we ayi former mayor Greater Accra friends
so Aji Blankson
David we ko di na di communication minister di na di
communication minister
now communication
minister
Yiti Mensa yase mun kon ko hwe ba bia de o mampani John Dramani mama ko try wonu ba na ne party ni o ye ne ko hwe ko na ba bi chese mo bompo na Akufo Addo duro no o chia na ne nsa no mpo mto bi ni se di achia no ba mo de mama appointment na mu ye na mu nyade a na mo pempa o mo Akufo Addo timi ben no du ti bom some sigja manchi obi am sigja no wonu muti di agro but no mu nya position am respect mo we do headings am mukọ we wuka nkọkọ kwa wo no so ka za program no one day o mampani e do muti hwim na wo sa bro tri we o de bo tri mu a wuka so me hawo adwem papa e wo tri mu a wo pese o de reset Ghana na trauma akwa di say tri hwi die mu a so be say wadwene ene ye pampa o mo an osi an o ye niema ti bi so mampani si to aba ma o sa adamo ni fo we emfa uti nkobobo mu o mo ba days abetras memo o mo ntazo bi ye fo mo hyehyɛ kɔna ogigi o mo so dodo enu ntia ma se bibia mfa o mo na ye ene o mo sure se wo di san krofo opposition for me titi o mo as opposition na enko mo nya de o mo ye no wo fa ase so cousin what tram wa fa Ghana niema nyina ene o de ye film no odwane mo se ma ne ma wo kan no obi no refer wo say ai former Maslock maame no na Maslock de na wo ode na wo no Maslock maame de ai wotuma ede na wo no obi a Ghana ska nyina bon na waje wono a conflict of interest or they afa ne company mu ne ade omra no me o me check nsem mu a musim ya sedinam ni ade omo de ono no toto niema ho ni agya na no Martin na wo so aba bejon o tenkubofo na da bia okra gongo bita na wo bom da bia na wo update ye te kro we mu wo kan se be se a month ago and deputy ni ba bonti your friend is a crampo yes oba bonti be kan say bi omo pe information fi ayi hono ma OSP hono ma onfa mo kini ko nya Ghana no kan eti ama se ama eniema se omo yeri nyina no omo nya bibia omo ni nyina so enu na the boss wo kasa no opese o chese step by step bibia omo pwe bia omo nsaka ama omo so ye follow up so one na ka no kre omo yenu one na ka na de o kan ye kre ye me ya ne se ayi adubu ahin se Nyankopon bo anko na otimi gi one cedi mpo a eye ene kra chese obo na omodi wo be ka chese adubu ahin awia we wafa we ni nyina cha fe da wo se wafa one cedi utimi bo modi na nya one cedi mpo a ene wa ya ade na atoni je nu ade no kan kan sa no won hwe no wafa bibia anko pre bargain no One the oba ye na eden betra ho no bro 40 ase ne onim ene no wenye pre-bargain asem saa de no ya de boni se obi be wie sika na obi be wie bi na ne na trans so 60 bra na fa 40 and fa 70 bra na fa 30 ni agya na ko ba bi na etimi mutim be se unim de ya saa nipa kro no so wi ade na ye no unim se emra no chese ni kwa so di ba bonten eti saa nipa ne fa di ma bonten ni wa wi aga na na trans de ye adwuma na wa sa nya profit ye ba mra fun sei ni etimra wa ehu ni agege so ye ba mo se betting tax nye mo be ye fio mo se covid-19 nye mo be ye fio mo yi niam enye pre-bargain mra we se de NDC fo so bi abi no bo mutim po so be wi enti no mo nya mo prase be yi Nicholas yan kan cruncher danfo na danfo hu sade ne ya de enye sa mra we ye sre omu nyi fio na o kira bi se NDC so ni so because etikro we mu appointee atima kokota for $100,000 what they akoko hide die what man say current appointee it is alleged so for 100,000 but they akoko hide die say nipa we say chase no yet tikro we me mo obi appointment me mo obi adi ya mo obi appointment no a resume 27th no a sign contract 26 na babeda bontin ni agya na da honum sankrofo we mu nyina mra bi so no de sign contract nye contract ketwa wu wono no ogi ni appointment letter 21st no sign contract 26 no nko adwuma mu 27 or resume ye what must say nipa we but this an kesi yi na di eti de make cha mampani nse esre no enkrofo no bebre honum a eniyema ekoto no bebre nya papa wono so nkrofo sa no nti na sa mra bi se no yenyi mfi oye sre na da braka onyi sa mra we mfi na points no obia ntimi focus so oye adwuma onfa coins na onfa pin na onfa bibia na nyumadie na tima koso kama what must nya sa de a yetete ho sa na obidum so current appointees of bi uwi a na mso yen hye mra bi kete se so ya pointi a yeto abani wie si ewini yo si elusu yo untimi ntukwai ema ne nyeye unless a certain period bi na awi omo amutisu nyina nto obi a beta sagyon wonu so omo amutisu de ye ken ofra tade obi so beta so be wies ka bebre obi fa bibi bebre ye to aba na ye nya transition we nya nkoye no wonu so fa ne we no so oti do okọ ye nsantimi nka no biemkin na no wonu so fa no ne ete ho ne ye koba se de wo se bibifo de ye na de am ya ne se ete kro we mu ya butrika de wo se Africa mra de ye de bia mra de nya ne fa abrofo edika bakure mu abewia ye good abetete ye asema mekan enye obi ade ba asa mekan sa na obi atie bi na obroni papa panimu you see romance scam ya romance romance what man say why ye djuma abrofo maba wa bi ninam ho wo so mpa bi wo pa bibi ni de na wo de aye djuma hwe na hoto me anam say kokra no emre wan kokra no emre nkokrafo ne emre wani abrokire wo mudos mu population do say na mo atrase wo si yi hu na me hwe ye say no no ka che ma me awu na ma me yare san na wo say ne na saa de we ade anke ko che obi tum abi before be ko che obi because ye na etimi sign contract or your contract ye de wo me 13% no bruni afa we nipa kran po de contract bo no wo mu 2% Africa o ye la etu wo mu kro mu nyamfa so obi ani so e de ani anya the same thing yakofa butreka ne ko abutreka pa ono hanya ne kro mu Konforata ono mra ni krom mu se ye de mra ne ye de ka ba ye nipa na otini krom no ada na mum ye ni na samwa na nka bibia emfa nye mrantie ya sabi omutimi use computer de niam yi Nigeria for de ye form ko o mfia ye mrantie de kin samra pa ho na nka be hye mra ne ye a wo ye obroni na odi agro ne ye yiwa na nka yi fidie ne yiwa obia ma ofie ma wi a wo we ye phone so na so pese wo hwe obi hu ena nipa ne sesa ne bibi no mfa nkoto duane wo de ma na wi ase apefie nipa na che no ni ya koso ya mrabo ni sei ni de akekire ya mrante ni maba abrofo ti fa we se means no mo aba hwa sorry omo si o Ghana ha omo ya sorry Monday Sunday Monday anopa ahmache no sika ni nyoma sesa ni nyina de ko international churches na wo ha no bibi on be wo ha bia no bibi anka ha omo yiwe ya no maso sika ni no de ko emra bia cover ya ese be boy bia no abrofo omo de biba yeti krowem US for the ade be krowem kra duty kromuntua on bibia so mo super power bibi on baby on bu yakwase at the end of the day ye de nyom keto abi krempa ne enkrofo ni abrehwe na no de na ye abutreka abrantie ade abonia wakum nipa wakwa wi obi ade ofie onye hwe obi so pese ohwe ne ho no yi ne ho otua ne ka ne anu ha ne yakoi wete ba sibra law ba Ghana fo be som din this abrantie why say sa ne manya minia Nicholas yen trans ne mra no yenya mra ne ye abrofo ni sisi adodo na anu ayi lithium ade e bae ya ye minister ya wonder a champion man what man say There be na there 10 was up 5 and there what must say and no company our bam no wi no bisa say all ba betu lithium there na be nya film emfaso be pa na be nya film ye ni na me ya say ye nanam ye na da be ye nanam ye mistake dialogue be ye nanam ye mistake na se ne se be ye nim nyansa be ye mu de niam bi agudie de ma ne nka form wo ne ye negotiation kwa obi anfa 50-50 nko da wo ana 60-40 da bia 15-10 ne nti agwene na tesen da be ne niam na we be nya ho mfaso ki Nicholas ye German panifo da bia negotiation omo yeso so omo de omo be benefit nko an omo gwene ho omo an de hu nya omo ye te krom ti lithium e betu mfaso wo so ne sen ye won krofo betumatu ye te e krom na bauxite ayi ka so kokotu Ibrahim Mama was so machines de wo Akufo Addo ba be di Akufo Addo mambofo papa no ewudini etim baba gi saade we ade ma China fo bi ekokosi sei meka we no bauxite no baba gi ekosi sei enkrofo bi tu ni free omo ye ni free omo de ko meanwhile Ghana ni obetime atu ni ye afa Ghana fo ma na bibi aka Ghana e de ye adwuma papa Ibrahim ayeye wo the feasibility studies kwa ba afa de enya de ketwa wo bo ka ye niam nyina ye giade ni fi ni nsam ama ne ka nyina ye ne ka enti atikro we mu na se ye bepempa brofo no omo de omba bi e papa na bibifo de bibi na nya kin me no mienu ye betan ya apisi mu ache papa ye becha wo Ghana pa
Mamenda yenia kudwe boa sibebre na ye kwaye ni ma Victory Garlic Mixture aboye chidoma ye dijumedi ede bro wakuma ne bo pepe wonsa ne wona ayetititi woni su ayekusukusu Victory Garlic Mixture na make am for amabo mamboja ne circulate ye papa enye na organ ha bebi eton adrobia wokwa wonsa botumi akabi o kan shi Kingswalk Herbal ko na kwaje wode 0201293280 0242545633 na bibia entumi enko enkan Medibos semen kan chose or the lift kit capsules abedwaman so enti eboa ye papa food supplement eboa na we didi mu amudidi anadre na de wunya bi ebeboa men ha o liver ne bebre ni na na lift kit capsules na mboa ma bibia entumi enko enkan Medibos say wato apete Ghana ha bibia eton adrobia ba open dodo a frɛ 0244 068447 0244 068447 liquid capsules na me pacho make am for their mom insuni ex natural mineral water pebi bobo na yebedi bro nyen me pacho be parties family celebration occasion serve bi wase when we busiamo num bi wo fie your 350 ml your 500 ml na wo 750 ml such as crab ex natural mineral water wo ba osu abebrese street a ye depo a ya boni po kasa opank Robert dudu bi openo odebemo also wetumi the akofie na webusu afọ akonombe me pacho factory so betumi afọ factory bebi obi anaka na brobi wo 0596273546 and 024 and 05 mo fa 0596273547 0596273546 na bibia entumi enkonkan Otria Herbal Powder na medru so Divine Hope Herbal Center na ye Otria Herbal Powder usisi na ye ya bema no ba me pacho koko how why embre wo mpem libido no form stroke na how ulcer me pacho Otria Herbal Powder na make am for edi amount Otria Herbal Powder enya na wo Ghana ha bebi eton adrobia unya sachet ba ko a wote ano a would go cap ma odi inso shake akra wo no we obon guma we good to go enya na wo Ghana ha bebi eton adrobia kai se dru no ne din di Otria Herbal Powder fegun sium na no na ubenya wapomu den kama ma bibia etumi akọ enkan 0591 565 557 and 0550 639 037 idini Otria Herbal Powder holidays obe mama yenkai Safari Valley Eco Resort ehọ na yi na ye kwa akọji ani kodwe ne ebusuano so na Charles McCarthy ni ebusuani na no ye ko Safari Valley Eco Resort kai se 4-star Forest Lodge Resort wokwa ubehu niema bebre na nkasa ho serene escape surrounded pa ubehu flowers ahro weni beje surrounding ye wildlife ubehu zebra antelope mara chese mbo ahro nyina ebi wo ho a betwe crazy ahodi atwam for yin meka ho me pacho baby obeda woni problem world class accommodation wo ho private swimming pools ahro kai se ho recreational any a restaurant service or more radi be ho and they say a local and our continental dishes ubenya be a medical kasambo ahoro which video mo tram for yini or more electrical transportation system and also with them and am Safari Valley Eco Resort tour now we shall make ho cycle and horseback riding fishing on man-made air canal also na 9-hole golf any be brand for reservation for Safari Valley Eco Resort was 0596 914394 0596 914394 now we know Monday come on. You try to a Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Me pacho hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E. Na UTMA ukohwa ebehwe to asiamo fatty liver, sciatica, or prostate. Any a beman or ban in sebu pain also na how compound fibroid. Shomo cha kwan no muntu yare na semo. Kenya say Kumasi Monfencham Kumasi Feyasi Lake Bosomtre Road ube home opposite Jesbro filling station. Saso Nakra Kwabenya Pukwasi ACP Road. Takra de branch no Nadia Estate adjacent to Nadia MA Primary School from 0244 544422 and 0200 383831. Na bibia etuin konkan wo takwa dompema shiame 27 to 28 takwa dompem meba hobi papa abra yenua akwe Rafa Kwe Foundation odi dwuma ho nti meba na menemu na abobom na yasepe ye ho float ne football gala ho nti miankasa meba takwa dompem munshiame 27 to 28 na floating ne football gala no mi beginem na bibie tumi akonkanti wo takwa dompema shiame na meba papa 27th and 28th Raf Akwe Foundation na this adwumadi bro so for mama menchiao so for ma wo preach your Power FM Mondays and Tuesdays and Mondays and Tuesdays watch him say nyame ya adoma Tuesday day ni me wo be chen kokko na emu nti me say ampaye bedwa na de nim nyam baba betase wo oyerfa Bogatan wo tema Bogatan ye bebe bi pa ma ye nije sa so na Ernest Adoma Kokion nyame ya Adoma Swan Lake 6 am pepe mamu kankwe okankwe south wo okankwe south wo o si nkunafo kun Ernest Adoma kun we ye third edition obeye kai se wonye kunani a member ho oba me na obigina gate mepa momo akọ kunafo na ese omombra 6 pepe 6 ana Power Swan Lake na bro sign up pizza man wom na enim wo pe na dwumadian because 6 ekunafo ina amaje nkokọ enemu ye be che ne china na bibie tumi akonka mamintia me maame madina Madam Daniela Mausi Sapon Chief Fire Officer edema Ghana National Fire Service wo so wo hwe ma ye chi opapa ntia kese enkomo so na former Chief Fire Officer Dr. Albert Brown Gazy papa ochina birthday string ko bekosi wo fie ye beba fie wate ye chichi opapa wo kodua ya nkwanta ono no ye nkabom hene wo ho enti ye chiaw ye friend na okufuruja ntia kese enkomo agbesi se befia oso ochia mo papa na nyame ya adoma 1 January obehwe bonim we de anya de a store away bia bebe enti de etena no ma member also yenko
wo check here mama Charles we digital micronis personal aid
Campbell
so check your brand
Campbell de mi amini bo na
Campbell of friend na
Campbell na mini na
no wait we too good obu adie yo just say na go bia tie dia enkan dis abane dia upon so no na wodi o friend no we too good
and just me hu na che
yeah
market the news of a friend
and the one can tell mo money away say and next week by Monday maybe who the boss yeah one no do too good to be
and you kwa kai me
Nicholas
yeah
minority say
baby 355
president Amanya reshuffle
minority na kai
another brand minority
okay no be cham
enyanwa we say
ko ni me
reshuffle no enwanwa Nicholas 8 years under Kufuado wanye reshuffle da
won't we an country no
so ni za 8 years nipa oyi the fee na bam first casualty na ye William Kwetu. Deputy Agric Minister, so Kasatia Nordness. And I'm upon a chosen one step down to appease the people of the north. A Greek now, Arabia ba. So we Arabia saying a ban on no more can wasem. And sad then no buy. Young fair non tunche. Second casualty, na August 2018. Ajako. And related to American controversy, was misleading president. And for the first 4 years, 2017 to 2020, no, reshuffle. There was no reshuffle. Then 2021, and decided to say obey reduce ministers from 126 to what looks like 123. So I say, a honum, near year yarn, and also 4 years, 1 year reshuffle. Into what would Timitna and Akufo-Addo 8 years with that reshuffle? Ukutia the removal of Ken Ofori-Atta. Okay. Say MPP 89 MPs be.
I'm sorry.
A petition president to say only Ken Ofori-Atta nonsense. Another prayer was against these 88 MPs. And another prayer and a voice call on President Mahama to do reshuffle. And the anchor and the right boom, Nicholas. But anchor may expect to say all cannot watch so ministry we. What I say? Ministry we, any ministry we, and I may say, oh yeah, reshuffle because A, B, C, D. The government here, Nicholas. Obo who must be some so he no money reshuffle straight.
Oh, dim be obeka.
Mean done, then ya fin na make go dream ho. So I say straight meet matches ministry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 you me mo madwuma nya mo nko trafi. And it say my due diligence. But unfortunately for minority, you are calling for a reshuffle, but na muntimi ntre ni ntia president in your reshuffle. Untimin ministry adwuma ne nkoye o ntia o pese president in your reshuffle. Anka obi a muchi reshuffle there. Uye den na otu obi for so nya reshuffle. E ka ni Akufo-Addo kan ye. Ozi omo ka se reshuffle nyina come na di omo. Adwuma no mo pa ye. He said it on Peace FM. I say, and no one believe in reshuffle. So Kufo na ye reshuffle. No Akufo-Addo does not believe in reshuffle. And true to anybody who served under Akufo-Addo believed that there was no need for reshuffle. And where is Anodom Pre getting his courage from to come and be asking President Mahama to do reshuffle? And also in Tresse, Nicholas, 54 ministers, no, 53. That'll be a 52 because two,
yes.
May their soul rest in peace. Or Mane and Mutala. Munita 52. So this 52 ministers, you know. What I say? When I see, yes, Omunina, correct. But majority of them are doing well. By 4 ni 5 be dear. What I say? 4 and 5 be dear. President retire more Ghana by Bebo and this in Ghana. But majority are doing well. Me see, another pray need the moral right, moral justification to tell NDC or President Mahama to do reshuffle because 8 years under Akufo-Addo, he fought against the changing of Ken Ofori-Atta. What I say? I don't think mechanism. I mean, you know, so on.
Yo.
Na so pe no mo person mo kondia next time we share my na be some.
Kojo, yentio, ye wie no.
Who say be ka say them boy IGP din. Ke nipa nyina kra ye nyini bi. Ato aba fi 92 abedu there. Ni ye nyini kakra. What say? Ye nya IGP ko IGP aba IGP ko IGP aba. Ba IGP we die, we dey twam. Obo ne ho modern pa bibia besi bia within 24 hours. Na wa ye ho adwuma. Oba na mahu se na nka wudi boni na timi edo original that we dey wudi boni a dey obey bia within 24 hours. 12 to 24 hours then in account. But Mr. No, one ni police for no. One check you kakra. Police for no. Who's gonna make me say Lumba and Kofano Mono. Let me who muyi. The no more yeno. Because I pay baby the amount so many baby. And get duty can call different thing altogether. And no nanche. At the current Americans say, King, the one in crop for no harassing crop for Cromuno. Echim Crofoko Gina Corner. Egi music and no mudia no. IGP. On man any man and crop for so. Me da be a damn boy above free. And to make us make a film constancy. On Wopong road traffic light. UPS war. Trinity Junction. Legon police for no. Omuchi omu nyina dom go police station actually one when we are so no mu no modia no at see edi enam ane edi bibia no eno ane adwuma omu ye o so I'm telling you do omu ye ano odin relax him cause me some dey list ne ba oba bi ka ho na sa oba no put the voice kokko bi sa mpam ni di chese oba no de otimi so no de police na wo call ye no NPP buy na fa no and wako chinchiri mu ano omo fa no yesa omo ano ka police for your friend from say before one of police from no no come mu bi and your fa ni shame and wako ye no force wa na sa na Legon so we say namo na dia e wo Legon na wo East Legon police station me kan Legon the University of Ghana gate ni bo we no King Nicholas any you within the East Legon na there
UPS one
so mu eno see e fan crofo do mbegu nua na sesa obi wa no wutimu say onye bibi bo ni bia
yenya police station
yenya keto bi fefe bi ho no ba sa ai kuboro fo ye mo atwa sam within there omo chi obi na badua na se abedi wa no ubon se na omo di moto di kaya na mu di omo acha na mu di kam do Balegon ko na mu e ba na abedi ano commander no ho ne ho judodo police commander wo Legon no etini crofo no mo hye na se no King, me the mechanic cranacho, or be on me. The more ye no the police any munyam neighbor from. Eti IGP man any call, no one checking the man ye, the more ye never ferry to do. Just a nipano at the Bonibia in our way. The other day say me, there's a traffic of pong right in a move and a car in a jam middle. And the light in this way, made the horn, just a quay him.
No, so
almost at then yen young quay nearby him. Will be a cast away, you it's yummy uncle. Emre do omu se meka ho ni bi omu se da bi da me kofi nam se no someone see enko omu di ano to see edi nam ano kin ano ode ti da meka say IGP on checking microphone yi what am I say na NPP so election na ekọ no wonim obi anim se mbeba power na che ba yeti kure mu ide at least ese nya opposition party on so be bo akakra ama ne ma koso ba wo hwa tem di die ni ma koso kin ano ode eri dua bo na ano ode e di meka ne say NDC former Bruni adade mo kama komanto yem dia beka on radio senior ka TVs no minim say o man panimfo ni adade obi ate any ministers ni panimfo adwuma panimfo nyina ate mesremu mo kama ko be set obi ama obi anwato no ama minim say the next year ye be see afi papa menye so say bia ye be say Friday for beba biem ba me ne adwuma for no meeting on next Monday so I'll be here on next Monday
we be share workers
workers mo adwuma
mu mo say makodwo we
be share on Monday ni adoto ni ma kama na ni ma hu say afiaso what am I say and you can know appointment mu maye bi
Monday one by why Mamenda Charles McCarthy as editor-in-chief do the Hawk newspaper so na kodwe boy former NPP youth organizer I also Westward gone me amidi dwedi ho chiam from Nicholas ya was Olsen mema obi biara fashiapa mayor of Accra honorable Michael Nipapo alote memo afishiapa ene obi bia ohwe yen afi Yesu amba edwada yebesesia afishiapo bye bye. Yeah, man, we should use never.